update on Kyle Draper. Not here today, but should be back Monday. That's my understanding.
Yeah, it is. I talked to Drapes today, and, missing everybody, of course, missing you. And
Yeah.
You don't believe that or what?
He's nice to say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he's like, yeah, super busy doing some things. You know, of course, basketball season is upon him. So he's got some other things he's got to do. Of course, being out in New York and doing some other stuff.
Right.
But he's back in Cali and getting ready to lace his shoes up for the NBA season, as we are.
Yes. Certainly entitled to the time. Of course, I'm just mentioning it to let everyone know because, people are wondering. And truth be told, and this is on us, not him or anyone else, but Jay and I weren't sure when he was coming back. So, yeah.
I kind of knew.
Did you?
But I had the powers that be had told me, well, he might be on the back half, but he had told me he was gone for the week.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's not a thing, except I just want to make sure, because, every day people wear stripes.
Of course.
He'll be back with us on Monday.
You can take a vacation, can he?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
When's your next one?
I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Just might have submitted something yesterday. But
that a boy?
Nobody cares.
That a boy?
Nobody cares about that.
I do.
People care about the 49ers and the Rams. All right. With all this talk of the injuries, Jay, there's a 49er. I wonder if you could guess who. Maybe you've heard this. There's a member of the 49ers, obviously a veteran. He says, all these injuries right now, blessing in disguise. A, do you want to guess who said that? B, do you think there's any way all these injuries right now to Debo and to CMC and to Kittle and to Charvarius Ward? I think Bosa's a little nicked up. Is there any way these injuries are a blessing in disguise?
No way, no how.
Take it up then with Trent Williams.
I already know who said it, and I was gonna let you spoil it for everybody else because I saw the clip and I was like, "Yeah, Trent sound good."
Yeah,
that's a man that's coming off a big bag right now.
Yeah,
so he's not even tripping, and he knows it's a long season. Trent is he's been in the mix. Trent being one of the players who set out 9-10 games in a season, like he stood on his business. So I get what he's saying, and he knows, he's longer in the tooth. And so he knows that sometimes you need a little bit of break. And if it means 1 week, 1 week or 2 weeks because you have a little ailing calf, then hopefully down the road we can, get all healthy.
That's true. And that's what I assumed he meant, that, it's good. The guys have the time off now and then they're healthy later. But that's not even what he was talking about, really. Trent Williams said it's a couple of guys that we want to see get more action anyway. Hate that it had to come on the heels of somebody being injured, but this is when opportunities present themselves. Nobody would have known Jordan if a couple of guys didn't go down. Nobody would have known Brock if we didn't lose 3 quarterbacks in 1 year. So it's a blessing in disguise. And you guys just got to be ready to step up and relish in the moment. So I hadn't thought of that. It's like, wait, so now other guys have to play and maybe some of them are pretty good. So, Trent Williams, he's kind of on autopilot as far as he's been around long enough. He's going to give you more or less the company line. That's kind of what he's getting paid to do. And he's seen it all. So, we heard that from him last year, early in camp. People asked about, is this it? Is a window closing? And he said, I don't know. A window? What are you talking about? So right now, what about these injuries? A blessing in disguise.
That's a leader, a captain.
It's a stabilizer, right?
Yes.
The left tackle is going to stabilize.
And good job by Trent, pulling all you 49er media and fans who are panicking after a week 2 loss and, blessing Sam Darnold as the next disguise of Jesus of Nazareth himself, Jehovah. And, just Trent doing a good job talking to the media, the reporters, and letting them know, man, ain't no panic in this locker room, unlike some of the faithful.
Yeah. Okay. So are you buying it now or not? I understand why he says it. And we both agree that's what he's supposed to do. But does it hold any Gatorade?
No.
Okay. I'm with you.
Yeah, no. Because guys being hurt this fast, this early, for me, that gives me, and normally what happens with the 49ers, White, is they get hurt, they come back, they don't normally get hurt again. But getting hurt this early kind of lets me know maybe week 13, 14, 15, because they haven't went through a grueling part of a season yet.
Yep.
Might have a little issue down the road.
Yeah, of course, the Rams will have
including
sympathy for them. Yes, because the Rams, we're gonna get more on them from Greg Beacham's going to join us. Covers the Rams 2:30. He's going to join us. The Rams, my understanding is, in the first 2 games, the Rams at some point have had all 5 starting members of their offensive line get hurt. Every one of them, at some point, to some degree. All of them. And, that's not even the end of it. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, they're, it's the old saying, dropping like flies right now.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they Cooper Kupp this past week getting hurt. I saw it and I was like, dang, he's definitely been injury prone the last handful of years. 4 years ago, he was considered one of the best NFL wide receivers. Look how quick, and he was on that list for a long time as one of the top highest paid wide receivers. And now he's been bypassed, of course, because of this offseason. But no Cooper Kupp, no Puka. I mean, their O-line, like you said, are two freeway cones. What do you call them? Traffic cones?
Traffic cones, yeah, on the left side.
Cones.
Yeah, center, right guard, right tackle, and two traffic cones.
I thought you had an upshot of 10 sacks yesterday. Is that what you were prognosticating?
More. I
More
saw
than 10?
NFL.com. Yeah, we'll talk about it. There's a guy who writes for NFL.com.
Who's the guy?
He must have been listening. Matt Okuda, I believe is his name.
Okay, never heard of Matt.
Matt Okuda says, in the history of the NFL, no team has ever recorded more than 12 sacks. He says, the gold pass rush is going to absolutely breeze through the Rams' injury-ravaged offensive line, and he's talking about setting the record. Everybody on the defensive line will log multiple sacks. The Niners will break the record for sacks in a game.
Now that's
what we were talking about yesterday.
That's standing on business right there.
That's at least 13 sacks.
13 sacks. If the 49ers record 13 sacks, what do you do? When you come in here Monday, do you say, well, they were supposed to do it? Or do you say, yeah, like Shohei hit 50-50 yesterday, like, oh, this is astonishing?
That'd be pretty astonishing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And Shohei, I know yesterday we were kind of talking more about how people are not as impressed by what Shohei did or they don't care. But, hey, make no mistake, that was astonishing, right?
Yeah, 50-50 is crazy.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's bananas.
It's like he's so effortless. He's so smooth. And he gives the appearance that he could steal a base, or especially it looks like he could hit a home run whenever he wants. It's not that easy.
Think so?
It looks that way.
Oh, okay.
He makes it look that way. I know it's not true.
Or was it just the Marlins pitching and
yeah, that's a big part of it. Yeah. But did he not? Ohtani yesterday had a great game in slow pitch softball. 6 for 6, 3 home runs, drove in 10.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be if you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wouldn't you feel like, I had a pretty good day? That's Major League Baseball.
Top notch day, actually. Yeah. In any type of sport, if you go perfect and at 3 home, in any type of form of baseball, but even in sports, if you're perfect in sports, you got a hell of a day.
Did he have a better day than somebody throwing a perfect game?
Yes.
Really?
For me, yes. Yeah. Because
he did it, the reason I asked, pardon me, but the reason I ask, I was watching highlights last night and the Dodger announcer said, he may have just had the greatest day of anyone ever. And I thought, whoa. What about somebody who pitches a perfect game? But that's why I wanted to see what you thought.
I would say maybe personally, the person who's thrown a perfect game would probably say, no, not really. But if you look at the magnitude of what it was, what was surrounding the 50-50, hitting 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, 6 for 6.
Yeah.
The Marlins just, and I got to give the Marlins credit as much as it backfired on them. They didn't stand down. They stood up. They didn't stand down. They went right at him, and he made them pay for. And to me, that's great entertainment. But I think going 6 for 6, 3 home runs, collecting 50-50, 12 RBIs, to do it on this type of platform, I would say I take his day, and it may just be, the fact that I'm a position player and a hitter over a pitcher. But yeah, for me, I'd take that.
They had a position player pitching at the end.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean,
why not? Doesn't that cheapen the 6 for 6 or 3 homers?
A touch.
Thank you.
A touch.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Is this JR?
That is.
Hey, JR. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's up, my man? How are you?
Good. I got a question for you.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Ray Wershing.
Yes, sir. What about him?
That's the veteran that said it's okay. It's a blessing in disguise.
No, good guess. A little late on that.
You're saying an old veteran.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Jay, do you know I was born in Candlestick Park underneath the rail field fence?
I do know.
I didn't know if he.
Yeah.
You know that. I was, and my dad played the guitar. Go ahead. Yeah. What's my question, Whitey?
Question is, I went last week. I went to see the Giants and the Padres, and I know they were wrapping up their season series, and the Giants were ahead 7-5, and they played 3 games last weekend. I was just wondering if you were able to follow along and tell me how that went.
I'm not good at math. I went to Sonoma State.
No problem.
I know you're a scholar from San Francisco State,
right?
But they didn't teach math at Sonoma State.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
I think we're still ahead of you, right?
Yeah. Well, Let me
what
do
a
some
painful
figures.
year.
Yeah.
Really? I was going to talk Niner football, be all happy, and you pulled the freaking Band-Aid off, and like Giants continue to lose. What, they have a one-winning season in the last 20 years, whatever it is?
Well, you're right. I shouldn't have done that. So get back to the 49ers. They're going to destroy the Rams. Are they going to set the single-game record for most sacks this week? 13.
Ooh, Alden and Justin Smith are calling in saying, wow, that's a big order. I tell you right now, if we're ever going to do it, 100% want the Rams. The only other secondary would be maybe the Cowboys. But if we pull off 12 sacks plus against the Rams, love it.
Man.
Well, it is a home game. It is a home game in Levi South down there. So
Yes, it is. Good. Yeah.
But it kind of looked painful last week. I think Shannon always, I don't know. That young man is much like his father. Like, just kneel on the ball. When Atlanta lost the Patriots, I always said he literally could have kneeled on the ball for 12 minutes. And the great Tom Brady, gone to the greatest high school in the history of high schools in the United States, made him pay for that. So.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
But I do think, hey, you know what? What if we got 13 sacks? What if Bosa got 5 on his own?
Yeah. It's going to be, like 5, 3 across the board, multiple sacks for everybody. And you get multiple sacks, and you get multiple sacks, the whole thing.
Yeah, that's it. It's Oprah. Yes. There you go. Reach under your seat. Oh, yeah. Fred Warner, you get a sack from the freaking linebacker job. I love you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, JR. Good to hear from you. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Jay, I got to go back to it. I know yesterday you said it's not fair to expect Brock Purdy to do more. I'll tell you why. He will have to do more this week. When we come back, he will have to. I think he will too. Next on Sactown Sports.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
For most of the people that walk in our store, it's been an ongoing, non-stop issue, and they're finally walking into the Good Feet store. Okay, the guy that came into my store last year that has had plantar fasciitis for 30 years. I looked at him, I said, "Are you kidding me? I've been here for 14. Where have you been?" I helped relieve a problem that's plagued him for 30 years. I mean, how do you not go home and talk about that?
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
The last 6 Sacramento Rivercats games of the 25th anniversary season are packed with promotions and theme nights. Join us for Hispanic Heritage Night on September 17th, the Rivercats golfer hat giveaway on September 20th, our inaugural Harry Potter night on September 21st, and cap off the homestand with Fan Appreciation Day for the final game of the season on Sunday, September 22nd. Make your way to the ballpark for a farewell to the Rivercats of 2024. Visit rivercats.com to purchase tickets today.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
On the text line from the 916, the Marlins using a position player to pitch to Ohtani in a history-making game is a travesty. The guy who pitched yesterday, Vidal Brujan, apparently, I just saw this, Jay, the guy who pitched to Ohtani at the end of the game, he just got reinstated from the injured list. He's a second baseman, and they had him pitching to Ohtani, and he's now pitched in 2 games this year. And let's see, innings pitched 1 2/3, hits 7, runs 8, home runs 2, earned run average 43.20.
Woo! Put him in the bullpen there, White.
Went up a little bit yesterday. He threw that one to Ohtani, and he just, what can you do? Put his head down. Dude, I'm a second baseman. What am I supposed to do?
If I was in that position and Skip asked me to pitch, I'd be like, nah, man, you're not running up my ERA so y'all could pull me down in arbitration down the road.
It'd be kind of fun, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You ever pitched?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody pitches up until, you start to get a higher level and we start to decide where you're very good at.
Mm-hmm.
I even pitched in high school.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A little bit in college.
Pitching's cool because you're the guy. It all starts with you.
Yeah, I didn't see it that way, but I hear where you're going.
You wanted to be behind a pitcher? You want to be in the infield?
Yeah. I like to move, glove, make some good, good plays. Really wasn't hung up on pitching.
And then, like you said, you pitch, and if you get to the higher levels, you pitch one day and you get 4 days off, and you get big money, and if you're good at it.
You know what a pitcher is?
What's that?
Not a glorified, but an under-glorified track athlete.
I found out that one of
That's it.
A track athlete?
That's all a pitcher is.
Mm-hmm.
All they do is run.
Yeah. And
glorified.
throw. And we went over that yesterday. And
sometimes.
throw. Yeah. Speaking of throwing.
Once every 2 weeks.
Yesterday, Jay and I, we were just going at each other's throats on this Brock Purdy thing. Here's why I think, Jay, Brock Purdy will be asked to do more this week. I think he has to do more this week for this reason, in my opinion. Now that you're missing, you don't have CMC, didn't have him last week. Now there's no Debo. There may not be a Kittle. You don't have the guys that can make big plays. So it's more of the old matriculate your way down the field. And if you're the quarterback and the only way your team gets into the end zone is sustaining long drives, you just can't make mistakes. So in that sense, I think he's going to have to do more. And I think he's capable of doing that. But I do think he will have to do more this week.
I asked this yesterday. What is more?
Just fewer mistakes, mainly, is what I'm talking about. You got to be on point for a longer period, for a longer drive.
Doesn't have the margin of forever.
Yeah. But I think he can do that. I think they know he can do that. I'm not saying, this is it. Watch it. He's going to turn into a pumpkin. I'm just saying he will have to be one of the guys. He and Ayuk, especially, they're going to have to do a little more. I'd say, Jordan Mason, he didn't have to do more because he's already doing way more than anyone thought he could do.
What if they put the pigskin in Jordan Mason's chest for most of the day? Let's just say he equals 20. Week 1, he's got almost 30 rushes and runs for $150, and Purdy goes for 150, and they win.
Well, I still think he's going to have to probably convert a few third downs here and there.
Well, yeah, that's football.
Yeah,
everybody has to do that.
So he's going to have to throw, even if Jordan Mason's running the ball well, and he just doesn't. He's just going to have to not make mistakes.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I don't see that as more. I just see that as just go out there and do what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
More would be, you know what? We're going to need you to carry this. We need you to go out and put up 350, maybe run for a touchdown, like do some other different things that we've seen him not do, or do, but he needs to do it this week. I just think he has to be who he is, and the 49ers should win. To me, that's not more. That's something I'm asking every week. Play mistake-free, have a little less margin for error, and come out, and if you throw for 250, get a tug in there or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what he needs to do every week.
I agree with that. I just think in some ways maybe more is maybe where, it's semantics, but I think he has to be better in some areas.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that more?
What's his third down percentage right now? Do you happen to know?
I don't know, but
it's not good. Probably it's probably average.
Week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they got worked last week. It's also going to be interesting to see if he's able to connect with Ayuk, and he should, because he's going to have more time, because I know Pro Football Focus, we talked about this yesterday. They posted some numbers that showed Ayuk actually got really good separation in the last game. But, we look at the numbers. Well, he didn't have any catches. He can't throw the ball to himself. And I don't blame that on Brock either. It's just Brock goes out there. You don't have time to do anything.
Yeah. The tough part about that too, though, White, is what is, and, I love PFF, but sometimes it can, and there goes the dislike of the analytics for me.
Oh, you love analytics.
Yeah, you can turn anything into positivity. Like, I've learned one thing about it. You could literally go out there and lose, by 50. And analytically, well, you know what? On third down in the middle of the night, on the fourth moon of a solar eclipse, they do this. And literally, that's what analytics are getting to this point. And so
I'll have to
not sure.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'll have to find some of the video that shows he's open. They say numbers don't lie, but they can be rearranged in such a way as to tell a story that might not necessarily be true.
Yeah,
I got
very true. They can be skewed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, fiction and nonfiction, it's a heck of a thing. And how you see fit, sometimes the lines are gray. They can get a little blurry. They can be a little crossover. And you might be open, but at that point, like you said, you might be open on the other side of the field while Brock Purdy is 16 feet off the ground in the air at one point in time. So, like I said, sometimes analytics can get a little blurry for me.
Well, I don't know if this is analytics, but I'll predict right now, Ayuk can have at least 7 catches.
Okay. That's what you're setting the number.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least 7 catches on top of the 12 sacks, 13 sacks. Sorry, by the defense.
Well, you set the sack number at over under 10. Now I'll let you come down if you want to.
No.
You're staying at double digits.
Yes.
Are you
definitely.
going over or under 10?
Over.
Okay.
Remember, we're trying to set a record here.
Yeah.
An all-time NFL record.
I'm gonna say they're gonna have about 8, 9. Now I'm gonna skew it a little under, maybe 7, 8. How about that?
A couple of days ago, we were both going maybe 4 or 5.
Right.
Remember? Now like 11.
Well, you put traffic cones out there. You put traffic cones out there. It's just really a shuttle. It's a shuttle run. 7 catches for Ayuk.
At least. Yeah.
At least. So where are you putting the number? Is that the number? 7?
Well, do you want to put an over-under for me?
Yeah.
That's okay. I think he's going to have at least 7. That's what I'm saying.
So I'll
At
go
least
9.
7. Oh, so you're with me then?
I'll go. No. I'm saying 9 if we're placing
under?
the number. Yeah.
I'd take the under.
Okay.
He's going to have 7 or 8 catches.
7 or 8.
Yeah.
I could see that.
They're going to get ahead, and they're not going to have to throw much.
Then it's going to go to Mason for about 25.
Isaac Garendo.
Oh, you were reaching.
No, because they're gonna be way ahead. They're gonna be able to rest.
Rest Mason?
Yeah.
Man.
He's been taking a pounding and didn't show it.
He is.
What do you think of what Dante Whitner said about how, and I think Alan Stiles said the same thing. He said that Jordan Mason is like a dead ringer for beast mode.
It's close. I
see the similarities, but I don't see him as the same.
Yeah, no. Mark, first of all, we can't gauge Jordan Mason off a few games and a few other games that he got a couple of handoffs. Last year, Marshawn Lynch is a whole different animal. I mean, Marshawn Lynch was the type of cat, even in Buffalo, he was running over and through people.
Right.
And I'm not saying Jordan Mason hasn't this year. Give me a couple more games, though. But I can see the running style. They're kind of built the same.
Oh, yeah.
Wide shoulders. Yeah. Big legs. Yeah. Like they have something there, as I sound like Mike Mayock. Yeah, they're close.
Scheme diverse. Yes, big shoulders, square the line of scrimmage. Yeah. To the point you just made about how you need to see more of Jordan Mason before you're willing to anoint him the next beast mode.
Right.
Last night on ESPN, on Van Pelt, they were talking about Ohtani, and they talked to Tim Kirkjian. And he asked Tim Kirkjian, is Ohtani the best player ever?
You better not have said yes.
He said he nearly has to play more before you can say that.
Yeah.
And he said he said something like he's the most fascinating player ever or something like that. But he said, when you're talking about the greatest ever, there's some cats, as we know, we're all too familiar with them, who did Ohtani-like stuff for a long time. And so let's just see if he can maintain this. It's enough to say that he's in that conversation already. You could say he could be the best player ever. But to say it now, I think I'm with Kirkjian. I think it's a little premature.
Yeah, very much so. I like your Tim Kirkjian.
Thanks.
The one thing about it is injury. He's already been injured. Hence why he's not pitching. I still would like to see him do it for a little longer because they're and don't get me wrong, 50-50 is crazy. But remember 40-40 at one point in time, Jose Canseco, you're like, he could be the greatest.
Last night, he said, I created the 40-40 club. Welcome to the 50-50 club. Shohei Ohtani. Yeah.
Is that some hate for Canseco there?
No, I think he was just trying to say, remember, I did something special too, but
he
Shohei,
did.
Yeah.
He did.
And then I think it was Mantle who said at some point, if I'd have known 40-40 was a big deal, I'd have done it every year. And Willie Mays, especially under these rules now, Willie Mays probably could have done it.
Oh, yeah. There's some guys who definitely could do it.
But taking nothing away from Shohei.
No, not far from. Acuna got close, right? Did he get 40? No, he did get 40-40 a couple years ago, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did.
So give me a little more, let him get a little longer in the tooth, put a few more years on it. What he's doing is spectacular, though. The fact that he can be, a top-notch pitcher and a great hitter. I'm not sold that he can be a top-notch pitcher for that much longer. But we'll see how it plays out. The other part of it too, and we're going to see because they're going to make him pitches based on the money they gave him. And then the other part about it too is there's some guys who put in 20 years of numbers and did what he did for a long time.
Absolutely,
like he still hasn't hit 60. He hasn't hit,
one other thing that he has to show.
Sure.
Is the postseason. He's
got to win. Yeah.
And this is his first chance.
Yeah, so, have to win. We're going to see it, because that sphincter likes to tighten up. So we'll see it. The Dodgers will be there.
Yeah.
We'll see if they can, do the Heimlich on themselves and not choke. But
they've developed a habit of that, haven't they?
They have. And I'm thinking they're going to do it again this year.
Yeah. But just the fact that right now to sit here and discuss whether Ohtani is the greatest player ever, it's not ridiculous to have that conversation.
Think so? See, I think it is.
Well, I don't think it's ridiculous.
I think he's the flavor of the month.
I don't think he is the greatest player ever, but I don't think it's ridiculous to say that. And to me, that in and of itself is incredible.
Wow. I mean, I don't even think he's top 50 yet.
Ohtani is not top 50?
We're talking about the history of baseball, my man.
Yeah.
You think Shohei Ohtani's top 50 already?
Probably,
he's only played 5 years.
I think he's, but no one's ever done what he's done.
Yeah,
no, not just talking about 50-50.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I get what you're saying. Again, he's the flavor of the month, so people are gonna say, "Oh, what's wrong with you, Jim?" Like, the other thing about All-Stars, and I know we have to break.
Do you?
Well, I can't stand them. Why should I like them?
You shouldn't. I don't like them either.
I'm about to say they stole.
My mom liked the Dodgers, but there goes JF.
No,
my mom
no.
again.
I had nothing to do about that. I had no clue. I thought she was a Padre fan.
No. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, the toughest part about being a star is when you put up star numbers. People are like, okay, you're supposed to do that.
All right.
And that's the toughest part. Like, you put up 50 home runs and 100 ribbies and 100 runs. It's like, oh yeah, we expect that, but it's like that's hard to do. Season in and season out. There's some guys who have 7, 8, 9, 10 seasons like that.
Yeah.
Shohei's not close to that yet.
To your point, in the 70s, 60s, if I'm not mistaken, somebody hits 320. Next year they have 290 with 20 homers. Pay cut.
Yeah.
Right?
Give it back.
Oh, you're declining. Yeah, we're not going to give you what we gave you last year.
Arbitration, baby.
All right, we're going to go behind enemy lines when we come back. Talk to Greg Beecham. He covers the for the Associated Press. Find out what he thinks of the 49ers and the Rams, and why are there so many 49er fans down there? We'll find out next on Sactown Sports.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting their focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884. Thunder, feel the thunder. It ignites something inside of you. Lightning and the thunder. Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Carmelie.
I want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich. Dasha. And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
I found out that one of my players was vaping. I brought him in and asked him, where did this stuff come from? He said, it's better than you think, coach. He had told me that almost everybody in my team was vaping. The next day, all the parents came in, and I said, hey, you as parents need to do your part. You guys need to figure out how, why, and when this stuff is happening, and we got to get it fixed.
Coach Sanchez and his team took vaping head on. Learn how he and other Californians are beating big tobacco at undo.org.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Celebrate Sacramento Rivercats baseball during our 25th anniversary season and join the fun at Sutter Health Park. For a full promotion schedule and to buy tickets, visit rivercats.com. We'll see you there.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Or new home for 49ers football in the 916 Sactown Sports.
Somebody on the text line from the 916 says, Ohtani's not even the greatest Japanese player to play in the MLB. Kazuo Matsui? I don't know who they're talking. Hideki Matsui? Where are we going there? Our next guest covers the Dodgers and, of course, the Rams, covers LA sports for the Associated Press. Greg Beecham with us. Greg, thank you so much for your time. You know, Jay and I are both big baseball guys, and I know we're going to talk about the Rams and the Niners here, but how big is the Ohtani story in LA today? Is it bigger than the Rams getting ready for the 49ers?
Hey, fellas. Yeah, it's pretty much what everybody's talking about here. I mean, you can't watch that game last night and not come away with a sense of awe from what happened. So it's been the #1 topic on most people's minds when I've been talking to people going around. It's pretty incredible. I mean, the Dodgers are beloved here in a way that only the Lakers can match, and it's just pretty cool to have him on the stage and be doing what he does at this level is pretty special to see.
Greg, and real quick, Whitey, it might be Ichiro Suzuki that person is talking about.
I know, I was kidding. I was making a joke.
Greg, real fast, can we stay there because you've been in the LA area for a while? You've covered down that way. Did Shohei get this type of coverage when he played for the Angels? And I know this 50-50 is completely special, but did he get this type of coverage, or is this, as you said, this is a Dodger thing?
I will say he's very beloved in the area. The way my job is set up, I end up going to more Angels games than I do Dodgers games. And the passion that Orange County fans for him is very real, and it's very large. I mean, when he was at his best and pitching and hitting and during the 4 of the 6 years where he did that down here, it was an event every time he had a game there. So having said that, it's not the same as doing it at Dodger Stadium. It's not the same as doing it at Chavez Ravine with a team that's good, with a team that has a massive fan base that Orange County just can't match just because of population size. I mean, he's on the biggest stage in baseball now, with the possible exception of Yankee Stadium, and he's killing it in a way that we haven't seen before. I don't know what the future is going to hold, but the fact that he was already a popular guy who was well known here personally in the LA area to go from the little team to the big team, so to speak, has been a perfect time, and he has really risen to the occasion. And he's got to be up there among the top 3 athletes in LA right now in terms of like attention, in terms of love, in terms of the passion that people feel for him, and that's only going to grow. He has a 10-year contract, and he's not slowing down anytime soon.
I'm sure if the Rams could, they'd ask him to play left tackle or something this week, but. Greg, the 49ers awfully banged up. Obviously, they're not going to get any sympathy from the Rams. Is it true? I think I saw this from you on Twitter. The Rams have had at one point so far this early season, all 5 offensive line starters have been injured?
That is 100% true. Yes, all of their week 1 starters in one way or another have been set back, and that doesn't include their starting left tackle Alric Jackson being suspended for the first 2 games for a reason that he won't tell us what it is. They're completely patchwork. They're really struggling to get 5 guys on the field, and it's especially painful because that was their #1 priority on offense in the offseason, was to build a strong line, particularly the middle of the line, to keep Matthew Stafford upright, to make sure that he can implement as much of what Sean McVay wants to do as he can. And then you have your left tackle gets suspended. Your backup left tackle gets hurt in the first half of week 1. Your left guard gets hurt in week 1. Your center has to move over to left guard, so you bring in a rookie to play center. Then that left guard gets hurt. Excuse me, I'm falling behind here. There's so many things to get. The right guard is playing on a sprained ankle for 2 weeks. He's still going. I mean, Kevin Dotson's the baller. He's going to play as hard as he can for as long as he can, but he's not 100%. Their starting right tackle missed week 1, came back in week 2, and he's doing his best, but he's also not 100%. And their backups, nobody can plan for 5 injuries on your offensive line, but the backups they have are not guys who are going to get it done. A couple of guys they've tried at left tackle have not worked. So they're clutching at straws at this point. And you feel for them just because nobody can plan for that many injuries.
Joined by Greg Beecham, long time for the Associated Press. Greg, you talking about the offensive line. Who is Matt Stafford even going to throw the ball to this week against the 49ers?
Boy, a couple of guys he doesn't know as well as the 2 guys who are sitting on the sideline, that's for sure. I mean, they have some options there. The trouble is keeping, making sure that Stafford has the opportunity to stay upright and do it, because they've been calling a lot of dropbacks, a lot of traditional pass plays in the first 2 weeks. When Sean's in his bag, that's what he likes to do in certain ways, and that's tough to do with an offensive line like that. But they have guys who can play. Demarcus Robinson is a serious player. Tyler Johnson is a serious player who's been overlooked for a couple of years. Couldn't quite fit in a couple of teams and find consistent playing time. Tutu Atwell is a guy who's in his 4th year with the Rams. He was a 2nd-round pick. He's never gotten consistent playing time under Sean McVay, except for a couple of stretches where guys were injured. And when he came in, he did some good things. He's not without skill, and he's one of the fastest guys on the field. So they'll have some targets, but not having Cooper Kupp, not having Puka Nacua, not having Tyler Higbee deprives Matt Stafford of option 1, 2, and 3 in terms of who he would want to throw to in a perfect world. So again, they're clutching at straws. They're doing their best, and just not a lot of options right now.
That's right. I forgot about Tyler Higbee too. Yeah. Greg Beecham with us. Greg, this may be a silly question, but how come when the 49ers are down there at SoFi, there are so many more 49er fans than Ram fans when the 49ers, when the Rams have won a Super Bowl more recently than the 49ers?
Well, I'll take you back to 1994 when a woman who owned the Los Angeles Rams made a really poor business decision and got a bit flim-flammed and bamboozled by a couple of people who wanted her to move her team to her hometown in St. Louis, and ended up abandoning the 2nd largest media market in the country. And not only were they gone for 21 years, when they left, they set the bridge on fire. I mean, it's like when teams leave a town, you take it personally as a sports fan. So the Rams have come back, and they've come back in about the best way possible. They have an amazing stadium. They have an interesting coach. They have a star. They've had a lot of stars on this team when they've come back, and they've won a Super Bowl. They've made 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
They're still building that back, the bridge that Georgia Frontier torched 21 years ago before they came back. So it takes time. And while they were gone, a lot of football fans looked around, and a lot of fans in LA adopted a new team. And even though the Niners, were not the best team in the world in the 2000s, a lot of younger fans adopted them as their team. We know about the Raiders' presence down here, and that's generational, obviously. But a lot of people adopted the Niners. I mean, people travel, but there's also just a lot of Niners fans who live in Los Angeles, and there's a lot of people in the Los Angeles area. So, they come out and they support their team. It's great. It's cool, but that's what it is. And the Rams have to fight against 20 years of history there.
Would you say, and pardon me, Jay, I just wanted to follow up. Would you say that the Rams are making a noticeable progress in that regard as far as trying to reestablish themselves with the fan base?
I will say that, yeah. And I'm speaking as a guy, from Northern California, lives in Southern California. There's definitely a movement on, and the Rams are the number one team among people who are new fans and people who want to embrace Los Angeles. They've far outpaced the Chargers, and the Raiders and the Niners are not gaining a lot of new fans down here, obviously. But having said that, the people who have money, the people who can go to games, who can pay for tickets, are people who already have a favorite team, by and large. You know what I mean? And so the Niners are their team. The Raiders are their team. The Packers are their team. And that's who they are. And that's not going to change until it's going to be generationally. And, they're working on that. And the Rams have done a pretty good job of laying the foundation, but even they realize it's going to take time.
Yeah. There are pickleball teams in Folsom who are more popular locally than the Chargers are in LA. Am I right, Jay? That's just a strange situation.
You cold blood, man. You cold blood. Greg, a 2 question here, and it kind of jumps around local. 1 is a personal question. 2 is kind of a personal question on your end. Number 1, Ahkello Witherspoon, being here from Sacramento, of course, a former 49er. I know he signed with the Rams. I believe he is upgraded to active roster. If he is, what's the outlook for him being back here with the Rams? And then secondly, I would love to get your thoughts, and hopefully don't take it the wrong way, because I know you're from the Bay Area. I believe you're from Oakland. I'm an Oakland A's fan.
That's right.
With that being said, what's your thoughts on the Oakland A's maybe leaving? Well, we know they're leaving Oakland here and coming here to Sacramento for who knows what, but your thoughts on the A's situation?
Oh, gosh. Number one, Akello is waiting for an opportunity to play. He may have one quicker than maybe he would have even thought because Kobe Durant, their backup cornerback, is hobbling a little bit, and they're already without Darius Williams. So there's a chance Akello could be thrown in yet. We just don't know yet because Sean McVay keeps his cards pretty close to his chest. But I think Akello will be ready. He said he's ready. We've talked to him. He looks ready, so the guy can always get in. He's a baller. I mean, he's a guy who plays hard, so he'll go in and do his best if he has to come in at relatively short notice. I mean, as far as the A's situation, I think it's regrettable and lamentable. I have the same thoughts about John Fisher as everyone else does, I think, except for maybe his immediate family. Maybe even they have those thoughts. I don't know. But the bigger thing for me is, as a guy who grew up is from the Bay Area, but I also went to high school around Las Vegas, and I struggle to see how that's going to work in a long-term situation. I mean, there's so many problems with that deal and so many problems with the idea of them playing in Las Vegas long-term that I don't feel like Major League Baseball has addressed because they're blinded by the prospect of the new, as so many sports executives are, and the idea of like having something shiny. Just between the population of Las Vegas, the transient nature of the population, the struggle to even come close to building that stadium that they're talking about. And then just the idea that like baseball is not like football. It's not where like Cleveland Browns fans can look at the schedule and say, we're going to fly to LA for the weekend and support the Browns. Nobody's going to fly to Vegas and support the Florida Marlins for a 3-game series in mid-May. That's just not going to happen. I struggle to see how they're going to fill that stadium for 81 games a year. And I don't feel like anybody has really addressed that properly, just assuming that it's going to all work out and that Las Vegas would just continue growing indefinitely until it becomes this behemoth market. I just don't know that's going to happen. And I feel like all this is really poorly thought out, and that's just one part of it. All the Oakland stuff is horrible too, obviously. I mean, that goes without saying, but like just the idea of moving into Vegas just doesn't work for me. And I'll be glad to be proven wrong, but for me, it seems like a huge red flag that nobody is acknowledging is being waved.
Greg Beecham from the Associated Press. Great follow on Twitter. Great information, especially with the Rams and 49ers coming up. Greg, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Jay. Always a pleasure. Thanks.
All right. There you go. Coming up tomorrow night, we've got an historic boxing card at Thunder Valley. Going to tell you a lot more about that when we come right back to Sactown Sports.
Hey, get ready. Here comes your Sactown Sports live events calendar. You don't want to miss Winona Judd at Hard Rock Live on September 28th. And on October 4th, comedy legend Rob Schneider is bringing the laughs to Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Space out with Weezer for the Voyage to the Blue Planet Tour 2024 at the Golden One Center on October 8th. And looking further ahead into October, Alec Benjamin brings his soulful vibes to Hard Rock Live Sacramento on the 16th. Then on October 17th, catch the hilarious Ronnie Chang at the Bob Hope Memorial Theater in Stockton. On October 20th, Renee Vaca brings his hilarious stand-up to the Crest Theater in Sacramento. And finally, gear up for the ultimate Halloween bash with a $5,000 costume contest. It's Sinners and Saints Saturday at Thunder Valley on October 26th. Costumes, music, and plenty of thrills. Get all the event details at SactownSports.com and stay locked on to Sactown Sports for your chance to win tickets.
Less is more? No, more is more. That's why Taco Bell's new $7 Luxe Cravings box is stacked with all your cheesy, crunchy favorites. Think a beefy 5-layer burrito, a double-stacked taco, a Chalupa Supreme, chips and nacho cheese sauce, and a drink for just $7. Live Luxe for less at Taco Bell and sign up for rewards to earn free food. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Drinks exclude freezes. Tax extra. Rewards program subject to terms and conditions. Points earned on qualifying purchases.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We now have unlimited data that never slows you down. Covered by the Verizon 5G network. And all for less than $30 a month when you get 4 lines. And the best part? We give you a free Samsung Galaxy A54 5G when you switch to the Total 5G Plus Unlimited plan. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
What's going on? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for Ram Power Days?
Well, 2024 is almost over, so we figured we'd get a head start with big savings on brand new 2025 Ram 1500s. Right now, you can save up to $15,000 off MSRP on the brand new and very nicely updated 2025 Ram 1500s, starting as low as $37,780.
I want to make sure I heard you right. You said 2025. as in next year's models, and you're already giving $15,000 off?
You heard that right. Plus, with all the upgrades Ram has made on the 1500s, this is the best Ram yet.
Test drive the best Ram truck yet at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. See our whole inventory at hobletdodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. 15,000 total net savings after 10,500 factory rebates and 4,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 3,000 in Hoblet Select inventory coupons and 2,000 Hoblet trade-in assistant coupons. Must have qualifying trade-in. At least 5 of this net savings. Coupons only available while supplies last. See dealer for details.
She used to meet me on the side.
Khalid, live in concert. See him performing at the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, October 5th. Get tickets now at ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss the sensational Khalid for one night only at the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, October 5th. For more, visit KhalidOfficial.com.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models, low payments, and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Eagles on a Flashback Friday, huh, Jay? I know if you're a longtime Sacramento sports fan, you can flash back on many, many, many big nights of boxing in Sacramento.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, we've got a big night tomorrow night at the venue, Thunder Valley. It's the Thunder Showdown. Starts at 7, doors open at 6, and with more on that, nice enough to join us, outstanding trainer and one of the top promoters in the area, Nasser Niavaroni. Nasser, thank you so much for your time. Is this actually one of the bigger, if not the biggest, boxing card of the year in Northern California?
Pleasure to join you guys, and we've been looking forward to getting to the venue to be able to bring one of our biggest cards in Northern California in the past few years.
Wow, that's tremendous. Tell us about the card. What are the highlights of the card tomorrow night, Nasser?
We have an outstanding 10-bout card, which is normally you'd have 26 rounds of boxing to qualify for a professional event. We have 55 rounds, so we've doubled the amount of action for the fans in Sacramento, especially being the first time at the venue. Our main event is Alan Sanchez from Fairfield. He's fighting Salvador Brasina from Roseville, California. They both have over 20 professional wins, and I look forward to this being a fight of the night. Besides that, we have a female bout on this card that looks to be very competitive. Two ladies that weigh 118 pounds, and they're all muscles. And the whole card is so competitive. It is so competitive. I tell you, every one of the fights on this card, I can assure you is going to be exciting and a competitive bout.
Nasser, huge boxing fan, as most people here know around the area, of course, on the station. I've actually had the opportunity to see Alan Sanchez put a few rounds in and get under his belt.
You ever sparred with him, Jay?
I haven't been able to spar with him. I haven't been in the ring with him.
Nasser could have arranged that for
him. Yeah, he could have. And actually, now that I have his details, I might be on his line. I might bang his hip. So keep your eyes open on that, Nasser. But for the people who haven't had the opportunity to see Alex Sanchez, who was a lot of action, pulls no punches, give the people the look of what Alan Sanchez brings to the table.
Alan is a triathlon runner and competitor. I mean, this guy's in the best shape. I've never seen a boxer in this kind of shape, and he's the kind of fighter what we call toe-to-toe boxer. He doesn't move around too much. He stays right in front of his opponent and looks for a lot of action. That brings the crowd to their feet, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in the ring.
Nasser Niavaroni with us, and tomorrow night he's promoting, of course, the Thunder Showdown, the venue, Thunder Valley, tomorrow night.
Big time, Whitey.
Yeah, I know.
Boxing back in Sacramento for real.
That's it. Yeah, I was going to ask you, Nasser, can you explain to us how important this night is tomorrow in terms of the history of boxing here? I mean, I know the names. I wasn't here, but I know, Tony the Tiger Lopez, Pete Ranzani. I mean,
Chico.
Very rich.
Diego Corrales.
Very rich boxing history, right?
Yes, sir. A lot of these kids fought at the Memorial Auditorium And going way back to the 60s, Memorial Auditorium used to provide a lot of action for boxing and up until recent years. Well, I feel like the venue can be the next Memorial Auditorium for Sacramento fans, where they're going to see regular professional boxing at the venue and bring back some of the old championship fights like Tony the Tiger Lopez fought back in the 80s at the Memorial Auditorium. I really think this venue has what it takes to be one of the top boxing venues in California.
That's interesting, Nasser, because someone who covered boxing for a couple of years nationally for Sporting News, I had the opportunity to jump around and cover a lot of great fights. And, one of my favorite fights here in Sacramento when I was a youngster was Chad Dawson coming to Sacramento Arco Arena. And I was like, man, Chad Dawson, who's completely across, coming from the East Coast, I believe he's from Connecticut, like fighting here in Sacramento on a big card. And so speak to the magnitude of how this moves forward at Thunder Valley, like you said, bringing it back. But what's the plan? How do we progress this? Because I'm the commissioner of City of Trees now, Nasser. I want to see more boxing events here. How do we keep pushing that narrative for you?
We have competitors like Victor Guerrero, who comes from a fighting family. His uncle Robert Guerrero is a three-time world champion.
Ghost.
He's on, yes, sir. He's on the card and he's undefeated. So when we get a young man like him with a 7-0 undefeated record, and if he can come up with another win, this will be a venue where we can look to build his career. And he can stay local and fight local. And there's a couple other kids on this card that are got great promise as far as the future goes. So we're looking forward to promoting these kids on a regular basis out of this venue in Sacramento.
Nasser Niavaroni with us. He's the promoter for Thunder Showdown tomorrow night. Nasser, I know you have trained some outstanding fighters. Eric Regan, I got to know him a little bit. Wonderful, wonderful guy. The Hitman, of course. So I'm just wondering, in your opinion, why is it that Sacramento has produced so many outstanding boxers and MMA combatants?
I believe Sacramento is a fighting town. It goes way back in the old days where Max Baer, heavyweight champion of the world, was from Sacramento. And the tradition has just been going with Bobby Chacon, a former world champion, Tony the Tiger Lopez. This is a fighting town, and we look to keep it going.
Alexander Espinosa is on the card too. I've had an opportunity to cover some of his fights. He takes on who was it? Ogwen?
Dual Olgan, yes, sir. I'm glad you mentioned that. The kid actually works at Thunder Valley Casino. He has 22 professional wins, and the whole staff there is looking forward to seeing this kid in action. He's fighting a tough guy from Guadalajara, Mexico. He came all the way here to fight this fight. We expect a really challenge for Espinosa.
Now, you've talked about the main event, but I want to hear a little bit about the young ladies. Give me a little information on the young ladies who will be fighting this week, because I haven't been able to find that information here on the card, of course, Boxing Promotions. But give me a little more information on that, Nasser, because I am on a 1B path to come out there. Matter of fact, I would love to sit next to you. Let's make that happen.
We'll have a seat right up front next to me for you, sir. Yes, we'd love to have you. Brenda Hernandez is an undefeated boxer from San Diego. She's coming up to challenge another one of the Guerreros. Maribel Guerrero is actually related to the Ghost also. She's on the card, and she's never turned down a fight. Any fight I offer this young lady, she doesn't say no. She actually stepped up a couple pounds to take this challenge from Brenda, and it might be the fight of the night.
Wow.
Maribel's still looking for her first W, isn't she? Or did I misread her bio? Has she won a fight
You're
yet?
100%.
Yeah.
She has not. She's 0-2, but both fights she's been in against undefeated boxers, and she's put on a heck of a show, even though she lost the fight, but she was really in the battle the whole fight.
For people who haven't had an opportunity to get out to a boxing event, who haven't been blessed like ourselves, Nasser, Whitey, paint the picture for the people here in Sacramento, because we haven't had some of the bigger fights that we get to see on television on a weekly basis or, monthly basis, Nasser. Paint the picture for an ignorant boxing fan, meaning someone who's never been to an event. What could they expect here coming up at Thunder Valley this weekend, tomorrow?
Watching a boxing event live is so different than watching it at home. When you go watch it live, you can hear the punches. Ooh. When your guy lands a big punch, the sound echoes in a whole venue. And it's just a different feeling being at ringside, watching the sweat and sometimes the blood flying off these guys when they get punched. It just is so the impact, the punching power you see from these guys is incredible when you see it live. As we have, what I didn't mention was we have 2 heavyweights on the card weighing 230 pounds and 220 pounds. Just watching that live, where one punch can end the fight at any given moment, is a different feeling.
So, Nasser, we can get tickets, I assume, at the venue and then also online. Are those the best ways to grab the ducats for tomorrow night?
Most definitely. We'll be selling them at the venue, at the door, and they can purchase on Thunder Valley Casino's site.
All right.
And what time is that?
Doors open at 6, right?
6?
Fights at 7, doors open at 6. Is that right, Nasser?
First bell right at 7 is going to be nonstop action. We won't have any delays in between fights. We plan on having back-to-back fights.
Nasser Navarone, man. Thank you so much for your time. Best of luck, and thank you for this historic event you've put together, Nasser. Enjoy the fights, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
Gentlemen, thanks for giving me the opportunity. Thank you much.
You're very, very welcome. So that's the Thunder Showdown, featuring not only Alan Sanchez, now based in Fairfield, but it sounds like Jay. Sounds like Jay's going to be front and center for the event tomorrow night. So good for you, Jay. Way to work your charm in that fashion. We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, more on the 49ers and the Rams. And yes, our idea of the 49ers setting an all-time sack record this week. It's catching on. How likely is it? Next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
They say the hardest part of getting something done is getting started. Well, we did that 30 years ago, when California first took on the tobacco industry. Now, smoking is down 60%, lung cancer 42%. A couple of our cities have already ended tobacco sales. A California without big tobacco isn't just possible, it's already happening. See our progress at undo.org.
Tired of ads interrupting your favorite news podcasts? Good news! Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Stay up to date on everything newsworthy with podcasts like The Daily, Up First, and 5 Things Uninterrupted at amazon.com/ad-free. Just head to amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
It's game on at Sky River Casino during our $100,000 Get in the Game giveaway. Catch your share of $25,000 in weekly prizes with a guaranteed $10,000 cash winner. Earn entries by playing your favorite slots and table games and score a free entry each day at our promo kiosk. Join us every Saturday in September from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. to kick off your winning spree. Visit skyriver.com for details. Must be 21 or over. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, this is Greg Pop-Up. Are you working through a major insurance claim? Sunpoint Public Adjusters can help. Sunpoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call Sunpoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. Sunpoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
We got quite a sports weekend developing, especially if you're somebody like Jay who's planning on attending some of these things. Of course, we got the 49ers and the Rams on Sunday. You can hear that here on Sactown Sports. Boxing tomorrow night at the venue, Thunder Valley. Looks like Jay has worked his way into that.
Hey!
And then you got A's tickets for the A's Yankees Sunday.
Yeah, on Sunday, we're looking to do it big, and it's probably be our last time unless we have, an announcement that we can make next week. But we're working on that. But this may be my last time stepping in the Coliseum, White.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are feeling kind of bittersweet here because tonight starts their last, what looks like, things can always change.
True.
But their last homestand with 3 against the Yankees, and I think it's 3 against Texas. And then presumably that's it.
Yeah.
But you would miss the 49er game, right?
Well,
I went to the Giants game last Sunday, so I did the same thing. But that was an earlier 49ers game.
Well, you know how this goes, White, is you have a phone and you utilize it.
Yeah, but if you're at a baseball
Did you do it?
You got to watch a baseball game.
No, you could do both.
Actually, the 49ers ended before the baseball
game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Because it's 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, right? Yeah. So there you go. They're both
and then
1
it was
o'clock.
delayed because they had an Orlando Cepeda service, if you will.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Celebration
of life. Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to log on and kind of do double duty there, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm not opposed to it, and it sounds crazy, but this one is going to mean a little more than just a week 3 clash with the LA Rams.
Yes, we'll get back to that game in just a moment. But speaking of the A's, there's a lot of fans that are not very happy with next week's giveaway.
Yeah.
So the A's have announced a plan for their final game in Oakland next Thursday. That would be against the Rangers, and that's it. I think I want to say it's a day game. I should double check.
Yeah, I think it's a 12:37 first pitch. I'll check it while you're reading.
Yeah. So the first 25,000 people who enter the Coliseum gates next Thursday get a voucher that they can redeem on the way out for a miniature replica of the stadium. And a lot of people obviously would love to take home, some souvenir of the Oakland Coliseum after all these years. But here's the thing. It appears that what the A's are doing is they're telling fans they'll give these away, of course, while the supplies last, but the team intends to limit giveaways to voucher holders. But what they're doing is they're giving away after the game. So you don't get the stadium replica on your way in. You get it on your way out. But you have to be one of the first 25,000 people out to get it. So the A's are encouraging people to line up in the 7th inning on their way out.
It's a horse rule.
And so some fans are thinking, wow, they want the stadium empty at the end so there's not some emotional outpouring of, don't go, we love you. And fans are not happy about that, Jay.
Yeah, I'm not.
I've never heard of that before.
First time.
Get your souvenir on your way out? Line up in the 7th inning to exit the stadium?
Man, at every turn, this dude is diabolical. He, them, they, whatever pronoun, just diabolical, Whitey. Really?
The A's have not responded. So people in the media, I guess, found out about this from season ticket holders or ticket holders anyway.
Got that email.
And so they've approached the A's and the A's have not responded, but fans are going, wow, they're trying to get us out.
Yeah.
Before the last game even ends.
Yeah. So if I'm hearing you correct, grab the voucher
You get the voucher, you come in, here's your voucher, have a good time.
When you come through the gate.
Yes.
And then once you have the voucher on your way out, 7th inning, we're starting to give it away. You'll be able to collect
elements of it. Let me just read you this. Elements of an A's email revealing the promotion seem to suggest attendees should depart as early as they can, even with the game still going on.
So depart. So I can't come up there, grab it, and then go sit back down. I mean, you could, but that's not the way, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be at the gate. And
I don't think they give them away until the game ends, but if you wait till the game's over, you know, like,
you may not get one.
Say, there's already too many people in line.
Yeah. Let's say first 25K.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of people.
I was going to say, and normally you'd be like, I can go in the 11th inning. But this one's, Sunday, and the last game against Texas is a 12:37 start. To clarify that the last game, as of right now in Oakland at the Coliseum, is a day game, a Thursday getaway. Whitey, at every single turn, the Oakland A seem to do something the opposite way, or the normal way, the standard way that most teams seem to run their organization. It is, and we were talking during the break, as a kid, I loved going to a game where it was a giveaway day and seeing that, that box next to the usher.
That's cool. Because you would go and you didn't know.
No.
Well, I always knew exactly what we were
really?
getting. Yeah.
Even as a kid?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that was the whole point. It's like, what do we get? What do we get? Yeah.
So your parents knew to take you on the giveaway day.
Yeah, but I liked the way you did it, where it was like a surprise.
Like a Cracker Jack box.
Yeah.
Didn't know what I was getting. And so when you pull it up, it's like, oh, man, you might get a helmet. You might get, like, as we were talking about, one of those bats, kind of like a mimic bat, or you might get, I told you I got a replica world championship ring one time, so I would love to get my fingertips on this replica, I guess Coliseum.
Yeah, that's really, some of those things like, yeah, it's kind of cool, but you lose it or you give it away. But that's something that I think that'd be a cherished keepsake if they did it right. I haven't seen what they look like.
Yeah, I would love to get one, but I think it's going to mean, and we'll have Imran Pilati who can maybe put a price of value on that pretty soon here coming up. But I would rather, and I bring him up because one thing Imran always talks about is you can't put a price on the memory. You can't put a price on something that, it means more to you emotionally, in your heart, in your soul, in your mind. And as much as, it may become a collector item, when it's really all said and done, I think I would rather spend my time soaking in the last few moments that I may not know, but could be the last moment that I'm ever standing in the Oakland Coliseum to watch my, boyhood, childhood, adulthood favorite baseball team.
I hadn't thought of that, but you're right. I got an item. It's a Fiesta Gigantes flag when I went Sunday, and they were going for like $40 on eBay the next day. And just and they're nice. They were nice.
Did you sell it?
This thing, I did.
Not a boy. Sell it.
I did. Not for quite that much, but I put it for a certain amount. Someone offered me less. I was like, I got it for free, so that's fine.
I'm up.
Yeah,
I'm
a
up
deal right there. So these are going to go for a lot. I know when the Warriors gave out in 23, after they won their last championship, they gave away replica rings. And I was at the station that carried the games, and we all got them, and I still have one.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But they were going for a lot of money the next day.
Really?
Yeah. Like around 100, I think.
Just to walk through. Well, you paid more to get into the game.
Right. Right.
Really, there's no ticket for $100 to go see the Warriors at that point.
Yeah. But again, I've never heard of any team doing this. And it's just, the problem is when you're not treating people right, and then you don't have the courage to stand on that, it's just, it's discouraging.
It is.
Certainly leave a bad taste.
It
in
is.
people's mouths.
For me, it's something, that has left a taste in my mouth for the last 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah.
Very bitter. I haven't been to an A's game in 2 years.
But Sunday maybe, huh?
Yeah. Beyond that, and I've told you, I've said it on this show, I've had numerous tickets. We've been to home of the A's here in Sacramento for a handful of years. And, we've had the opportunity to get tickets. We had the opportunity to go to Media Day a couple of weeks ago, right? Yeah, a month ago or so, and didn't make it for that. And so, it just, man, it it breaks my heart. It really does. And to hear things, of the nature of you grab a voucher and then you have to leave the ballpark at the end of the game just for some people who are going to go out there and not have the opportunity to make a Texas Rangers game, the last series of the year. Man, that's diabolical. Like it is diabolical. It's almost like you hate the Oakland A's fans.
It's almost like they're going out of their way to invent ways to offend fans. I'm sure it's not that, but it sure looks that way, doesn't it? It's almost as if they're having meetings to plan new ways to offend and insult and demean fans. So I hope everybody wants their replica stadiums able to get that, and maybe some people will find a way to circle back in. I don't know.
Well, I am.
Say you can have your little stadium. I'm going to stay for the last hour.
For the big boy stadium.
I'm a baseball fan.
Yeah, as I'm sitting here thinking about that, Whitey, and you threw a wrench in my cog because I was like, what I might walk out with employees. I may literally trek around the Coliseum all game.
Yeah.
Shaking hands, kissing babies like I'm a star, feel like I'm a celebrity or something. But no, not to poke fun at it. I'm really going to try to go soak everything in, put a memory in my mind, hit the tree house, maybe go have a drink at the bars that I grew up watching people have a drink at. And man, if I can, listen, and this is the truth. And a lot of people have been screaming about Mount Davis. If I can find my way up to get to Mount Davis, believe me, I will post it. And if I get thrown out, I will. That's cool. I'm saying it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how much these things mean. And for you to do something like that, man, as you said, you're inventing ways. You have invented ways.
Right.
This is just one of the last few straws, one of the last pins in the poke, man. I'm frustrated. Frustrated.
Yeah. Do we have a meal coming up?
No.
No, we don't have a meal coming up, but we'll take a look at what's going on with the 49ers and the Rams and how the 49ers have a chance to break a long-standing NFL record this Sunday next on Sactown Sports.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. We find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
Sponsored by Xfinity Internet. Enjoy ultimate control of your home network. Personalize your Wi-Fi name and password. Assign user profiles. View and control connected devices and more with the Xfinity Internet app.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
The word for has been used in golf for centuries, and its origins can be traced to the Middle Ages. According to historians, the word for is derived from the Old English word meaning before or in front of. In those days, the term was used to warn people of incoming arrows during archery practice. Another theory suggests that for has military connections. During the 19th century, artillery officers would yell for to warn their troops of incoming shells. This practice may have carried over to golf. The most popular theory, however, is that for has Scottish roots. In Scotland, for caddy was used to describe a person who walked ahead of the golfers to spot where their ball landed. The for caddy would then yell for to warn the golfers if their ball was heading towards another golfer or a spectator. Today, for is used to warn golfers or spectators of an errant shot. Whether it's derived from the Middle Ages, military practice, or Scottish roots, 4 has become an integral part of the game of golf, and now you know why. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
I'm willing to bet a lot of money that half of the stuff we hear from Frank on the Golf to Go, it's made up. Some of that stuff, I think he's just like, oh, I got another Golf to Go, and it's due in 5 minutes.
Think so?
What am I going to do? Was it archery? Oh, 4 in golf comes from the archery and the Scottish 4 caddy. Come on.
You really serious? You think so?
No, I know.
Frank is a distinguished gentleman.
He is. He would never do
Well, that's what happens when we're talking about a game that's not a sport and it's more of a hobby.
No, he probably knowing Frank, he probably spends like weeks researching each one of those. He's a very conscientious person, especially when it comes to golf. He loves golf. Good golfer, too. Very good golfer. He's a great golfer, that Frank. Yeah. All right, here's the dang deal on the 49ers and the Rams on Sunday. You know, we found out today from Greg Beecham, who covers the Rams and SoCal Sports, the Associated Press. He said so far in 2 games, every member of the Rams starting offensive line has been injured in some way, shape, or form, except for the starting left tackle who's been suspended for reasons that he won't divulge.
Mr. Jackson.
Yeah. So that is the state of their offensive line. You know, the 49ers defensive front underperforming last week, but there's a lot of money invested in that line, and this is a chance for them to get really healthy. In the history of the NFL, as Matt Okuda reports at NFL.com, no team has ever recorded more than 12 sacks in a single game. He's predicting it happens Sunday. I'm with him. 13 sacks.
Oh, you going 13?
You need 13 for the record.
Right.
You can tie it. You can tie the record.
You going with a baker's dozen? Is that
yes?
Okay. I like where you're going.
It's a possibility.
That's big words right there, White. That's big words now.
I know.
That's big words for a soft 13.
Just think if they have 8 sacks, I'll be like,
that's not good enough. I know. They're just world beaters. Everybody will be talking about it, and then like, I'm disappointed with that 8.
It's the perfect storm, right?
It is.
You got a bad. I mean, the offensive line, it's like they just don't have their guys against a good defensive line. 49ers should have the lead in that game. I know it's the NFL. Who knows what's going to happen? Therefore, the Rams are going to have to throw with a patchwork, traffic cone offensive line. It's going to be boom, 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 boom.
Caltrans, baby.
Yeah. And Jimmy G's going to be playing by the end of the game, too.
I like where you're going.
He's going down at least 3 times.
You've got some hypothesizing going on right now. Jimmy G playing at the end of the game, 13 sacks. I'll take it. If it plays out that way, and I think you're talking about Brock Purdy's going to have to throw for at least 300, right? Because you're saying he's got to put the vest on his shoulders. The squad's got to be on his shoulders.
I don't agree with that because I think once they get ahead, they're just going to,
run the rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it's all said and done, if the 49ers walked in to Monday's press conference with 13 sacks, I have no clue what Kyle Shanahan is going to say. Kyle, knowing Kyle, he'll probably, give the credit to the 49ers, and as they should, but it is a perfect storm to even be looking at the record. I need to go see what's the over-under on sacks because you talking me into, thinking about some things.
Well, in all seriousness, Steven Torres with a good question here in the chat. He says, I saw Bosa did not practice today, questionable for Sunday's game. Thoughts? Have you heard anything? I have heard that he is nicked up, but I'm not sure exactly what the issue was. So you're right, Steven. I'm glad you brought that up. That obviously could have an impact on how many sacks the 49ers have.
Yeah.
Nick Bosa's limping or hobbled, and Nick, a lot of guys are taking this week off. We don't need you this week.
Don't take the week off. You got to go get 13. Got to go get 13.
Kittle was not seen at practice today.
So. Yeah. It sounds more and more that Kittle may take the week off. The Bosa, Shavarius Ward, from what I'm hearing, is, the typical football situation. Keep them out of day because Thursdays are a little more rigorous when it comes to, pads and helmets and hitting and things that you have to do on the 49ers practice schedule. So I think more or less they just kind of held out for that. Don't panic. No need to panic. Who was that? Sanchez? I would imagine, unless, something completely changes and it turns for the worse, more or less, Bosa was just kind of banged up. Typical. Early in the season, shoulders hurt, knees hurt, legs hurt. I'm a football player, and he should be in the lineup.
Here's what we know from NBC Sports Bay Area. Kittle, hamstring issue. Ward, hamstring and knee injuries. Nick Sorensen said Ward's injuries, he said it's soreness, like you just said, Jay.
Yeah.
Nick Bosa popped up on the report with a rib injury. Not clear how or when he was injured. So that's the deal, Stephen, with Nick Bosa. Rib injury. So that to me is the type of thing that I think it's likely we won't see him. So why don't we get 10 or 11 sacks?
Double digits. Double digits are big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with 6-7. Give me 6-7. Everybody get a little piece of it. A couple guys I have a half of a sack or something like that. But maybe this is a get-right game in the form of health-wise of the 49ers. Maybe we can look at it that way, too.
Mm-hmm. I know the line is, what is it now? It was 7.5, but I think
6.5.
Okay.
6.5.
But it doesn't matter how many they win by, right? Right now, you're almost like in survive and advance mode.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got a couple of weaker opponents here back-to-back, at least two, depending on what you think of Arizona. But you got the Rams and you got New England. And you got your team is so banged up. Just you win these games and you're doing great.
Yeah, for sure. Even if you get out with a 1-point victory, by the sweat of the hair on your chin. Yeah, it'll be a cool little situation. I will say this though, Whitey. If the 49ers, if we come in here on Monday, and Drapes will be back, first of all. But if we come in here on Monday and they take the loss to the Rams, okay, all right. Cool.
You go ahead.
I've been there. I know what it is not to have a conversation with you because you kept bringing up the Super Bowl situation. So I respect your choice. But if we come in here and they lost to the Rams, boy, that's going to be a conversation for many to have. And I would say many people aren't going to be very happy.
At least you would have, I don't want to say an excuse, but you would have a reason for it. But the thing is with the Rams, they're hurt worse than you are.
Yeah, they are.
There's no
excuses?
No.
Okay.
Not this week.
Yeah. Next week, you got to beat the Patriots, man.
Mm-hmm.
At home?
Boy, they didn't look good last night, did they?
No. They look like the team that we thought they were going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see the little back and forth on the sideline between Aaron Rodgers and Coach Saleh? What'd you think of that?
And, both fiery guys. Aaron Rodgers not going to back down. We know Robert Saleh's not going to back down. It's the heat of the moment.
To give him a hug.
Yeah, I know.
And Aaron Rodgers gives him 2 hands to the chest.
Yeah.
And he looks at him and says, 2-score game. And then kind of stares him down.
Which is, again, they're not going to back down from each other. And that goes in all conversations.
Saleh was like giving him a hug. He wasn't. He's like, hey.
But we don't know the context. We don't know the context, White.
The most interesting thing I saw about that was there was someone on their comments, and I forget where this was, ESPN or somewhere, and someone in the comments claimed anyway, they said, I am deaf, and so I read lips, and I also can read facial expressions. I rely on these things to communicate. So assuming that's true, this person said, Aaron Rodgers definitely said 2-score game, and that's what Aaron Rodgers said he said. So it looks like maybe it was with Aaron Rodgers, it's like, hey, let's not start.
Yet.
Yeah. But poor Robert Saleh, I mean, in a way, he showed up as coach.
Which I said, not going to back down. Robert Saleh is the type of guy, he's still going to go in for the win. He's going in for the kill. And I think that's part of, Aaron Rodgers, they're both being fiery. But Patriots ain't coming back for no 2 scores. Typical Aaron Rodgers, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the news.
The pride of Chico. People love him, right? Chico.
A lot of people in Chico love somebody, I think, on text line yesterday said, I'm from Chico and I don't care for him. But there's a lot of people in Chico say, oh, he's done a lot for our community, keeping businesses afloat and things like that. When would you bench Jacoby Brissett? Because it looked like after last night that, might be Drake May time. But then today, Gerard Mayo said, Jacoby Brissett's still a starter. And I applaud them for handling it that way. Be patient.
Yeah, of course, man. You got one victory.
Time.
Yeah, you lost to the Seahawks in overtime, and then you got smoked one time. I mean, it's the same thing I'm saying with San Francisco 49ers. It's still early. We're good. No panic, no rush.
But they're no good. New England's no good, but that's why I would not. It's not like, oh, boy, we got to try to make a playoff run. Drake May the rescue. That's asking too much. And if anything, you could hurt his progress. So just,
this is a wash season.
Wear it like you stink right now. So there's no reason rushing a quarterback into action when he's going to get knocked around like a pinball. That doesn't necessarily help you. So be patient.
I hope you could say the same thing for the 49ers.
Be patient?
Yeah.
There's no time for patience. We don't have time. We have to win now. This is it. Didn't you hear what Debo said? You're sitting right there when we played it.
Yeah, but not every single week. You can't be perfect. You can't be perfect.
We're going to play a little, NFL word or whack, Jay. The debut of NFL word or whack. Or is it word? We'll find out next on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Kelly Curran in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We are expecting lots of sunshine across the area today and even warmer temperatures. Highs today will be topping out in the low 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The last 6 Sacramento River Cats games of the 25th anniversary season are packed with promotions and theme nights. Join us for Hispanic Heritage Night on September 17th, the River Cats Golfer Hat Giveaway on September 20th, our inaugural Harry Potter Night on September 21st, and cap off the homestand with Fan Appreciation Day for the final game of the season on Sunday, September 22nd. Make your way to the ballpark for a farewell to the River Cats of 2024. Visit rivercats.com to purchase tickets today.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
High voltage live boxing action returns to Northern California Saturday, September 21st at the venue at Thunder Valley with Thunder Showdown featuring the undefeated 12th ranked welterweight in the world, Amari Jones. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Play cards subject to change.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
She's on the chat, in the chatto, asking, hey, where's Drapes been? Vacation? Yes. Well, a little bit of vacation. Drapes went to New York because they have the annual meetings for NBA media, so he was back there for that, and then he tacked on a little vacay. But our understanding is he'll be back with us on Monday. And you know that my theory, he could have come back sooner, but he didn't want any part of us after what happened to his Eagles on Monday night, right?
Yeah, probably. So I actually had I watched the HBCU New York Classic with Drapes calling the game, Howard and Morehouse last week. So it was interesting to see Drapes call football, compared to who.
Yeah. And how is it different? He still have to rise. More of it is more setting the scene, right? You got to be like here, and then you got to be ready to bring it up here. Whereas basketball is more, you're up, you're down the whole time because it's so exciting.
Yeah, right? Well, Drapes is always excitable.
Yeah. Yes.
He doesn't miss an opportunity to get his Gus Johnson on. So yeah, there were plenty of opportunities where, were big plays, good plays, plenty of points were put up on the board where you saw, the Draper come out. You saw the big fella come out. And so I thought it was just it was a different feel, a different vibe, because we get to see him talk basketball, pretty much year in and year out. So at this point, so it was a different feel to it. I was like, all right. And Charles Arbuckle was his analyst next to him, a guy who's been around for a while. And I thought it was pretty good. I thought they did their thing.
I bet you a lot of money that if we talked to him next week and said something about Charles Arbuckle, the first thing you say is, my God. Right?
Yeah, we're doing it. We're going to do it too. Watch.
Charles Arbuckle. Yeah. My God.
Oh, my God. Yeah, me and R, me and Buckle.
Me and Arbuckle. Arby. Yeah.
You already know he's getting ready to do that.
Yeah. So he's back with us on Monday.
Terrence Mathis, too. Let's ask him about T. Mathis.
Okay.
Because Terrence Mathis is the coach, former NFL player. Terrence Mathis, Falcons,
My guy, Terrence
Mathis. It's oh, yeah, we had it. And he said it. I actually think he said, my guy, Terrence Mathis, we had an opportunity to talk to him yesterday, in the pregame meetings. And, man, he had some great things and, trying to put some excitement back into the program. So, yeah, let's ask him. Arbuckle and Terrence Mathis.
I would assume that he prefers basketball. I know he loves basketball, but, there's job openings all over the place. Maybe football. Maybe there's something opens up football faster than basketball for him. Or he just continues to do both.
It's a good question. I've asked him about other things, and I won't tell the story. I won't. That's his personal business.
Of course.
But some of his answers, and maybe he'll talk about it on air one day, some of his answers might catch you up, might surprise you. Because I've asked you about national versus football versus baseball versus, soccer. Have you ever done hockey? Things of that nature. And it's interesting because he's got some takes on certain sports.
Has he ever done water polo like Phantom at ARC?
You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's covered it.
Really?
I'm not sure if he's done play-by-play, and I'm not sure if he's as serious as the Phantom about it is. The Phantom, when he was here.
Phantom the Vince Scully of water polo. At least that's what I'm calling him now.
The same cat who's down the street from the house that won't visit.
Yeah, he doesn't have time to swing by.
Dang, man, that was some brotherly shots right there.
Well,
that was brotherly.
I think that was called for in that instance.
It caught me off guard too, because he was like, "Oh, and by the way, this is the same guy who can't stop by the house."
Right.
I was like, "Huh?"
Right by it. You can almost drive by my house.
When you said, and I walk my dog over there all the time.
Yes. Yeah. I couldn't make it over. Sorry, too busy. You mentioned exciting plays. The 49ers are going to have a harder time making exciting plays this week because no CMC and no Debo. And George Kittle, just an update, he's officially doubtful for the game.
I think it's rest season. It is rest season for the 49ers.
Yeah, and I think, thank you, Steven Torres, Bosa is questionable.
Yeah.
So that's by definition supposed to be 50-50. But it sounds like maybe as banged up as the Rams are, maybe it's a good week for everybody to just kind of hunker down and rest up and get a little healthier.
Man, but you don't want to be the turnstile. You don't want to be the traffic cones too. Though. You need some guys to go out there and ball.
If I'm Bosa, I'm looking at what we said, and I'm like, I could get like 5 or 6 sacks this week.
Bosa's playing, man. Bosa's not the type of guy. I don't care if you're injured or not. You almost have to save Bosa from himself. You're not playing. I think Bosa's going to play. I know it's questionable, But for all the people, friends of the show, the Amil Fragosos, all the guys that we have the opportunity, and I more probably than you, because I'm texting all these guys throughout the week, setting up guests and, talking about stuff. And I haven't heard anyone come back and say like, yeah, I don't think Bosa's going to play. And I was just in a conversation with, insider of the 49ers, someone we have on this show. And I asked about it. I was like, how many guys are not going to play? And Bosa was one. He's like, I think Bosa's going to play. I just think, the Thursday rigorous schedule situation, they got to put him out, let him rest.
Yeah.
But who knows? You never know. Might get on that plane and that leg, or excuse me, it swells up on him. Was it rib cage?
Ribs, something with the ribs.
It might get a little tender.
It's almost like in the NHL when they say lower body injury.
Yeah.
Ribs could be a lot of different things.
Truth.
Yeah. All right. It's time for NFL word or whack, Jay. I'll give you the fact.
Okay.
You tell me whether it's word or whack.
Okay.
All right. And see if we agree on these. The NFC is as wide open as it's been in years.
That's whack.
That's word.
Really?
Right now it is, don't you think?
Nah.
You got the Saints in there?
Nah, I'm not putting them in there.
Maybe the Eagles.
The Eagles are in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's one.
And, of course, 49ers.
That's two.
Lions.
That's three.
Packers.
Not for me.
Vikings.
Not for me.
Giants. Just kidding. Just kidding. Want to see if you're paying attention.
The San Francisco Giants, yeah. I'd say Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you don't think it's that open? You
No.
think it's pretty, what do you think it is? 49ers, Lions?
49ers, Lions, Eagles, Cowboys.
Okay. I am not willing to say that yet just because the 49ers are so beaten up. I know they're healthy. When healthy, I should say. I know when they're healthy, they're the best team, but we don't know if they're going to be healthy. And I'm not being negative. I'm just saying right now I look at it and say, it's pretty wide open.
Yeah, you keeping it a buck. You real.
That's word.
Okay.
You go whack.
I got you. I'm going whack. Whack
Dante,
daddy.
I know we touched on this earlier today. Dante Whitner is right. Jordan Mason is a dead ringer for Marshawn Lynch. That's whack.
That's dope. Can I put it in the middle?
I hadn't thought of that.
Man, can I slide?
Or whack.
Yeah, can I gotta put it in the middle? Yeah.
So dope is not word, but it's not whack. Why? Because you can only go so far with it, but there are some similarities.
Yeah, like it's there. Similarity. I need to see a little more. Marshawn Lynch to me is a Hall of Famer. And I'm not, they don't have, of course, Marshawn is not the guy that want to come out and talk, as, we know he's one of those guys. I'm just here so I don't get fined. But the other part of it too, for me is, I just think Marshawn had a little more scoot to him.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, I would say, he kind of reminds me of Marshawn in some ways. Like, okay, but
chicken.
Yeah, but if you're going to say, he's just like him. No.
Yeah.
By the way, there's a show, haven't been on in a while, called Murderville. You ever heard of this show?
Nah, never heard of that.
Will Arnett's on it. What it is they have guest stars, and one of them was Marshawn Lynch. That's why I'm mentioning this.
Yep.
And there's a mystery in the show, and the people that are the guests don't know the script, and they're supposed to try to solve the mystery. And it's fun.
Yeah, Marshawn on there? That was laughter.
He was great.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was great.
Yeah, Marshawn is a fool, and I mean that in a good way. Like, Marshawn is he's hilarious. He does the Amazon pre-Thursday. They send him whatever city that they're playing in, and he kind of does like a piece, that they play, and you can go watch it on YouTube and all that. But he does a great job with those. I've seen him in a few other shows. He's hilarious. Him and Michael Robinson that I just see this kind of created a podcast. Let me get that right. And they were talking, it was a couple of weeks ago. Laviscus Chenault, right? Who plays for the Seattle Seahawks. And I'll find the clip. And Michael Robinson, I believe it's Michael Robinson, says, he's talking about Laviscus Chenault making a team. He's like, hey, somebody who's going to make this team is Lavisca Chenault.
Mm-hmm.
And Marshawn Lynch said, wait. Ain't nobody named Laviscus. And he said, he's got the little town business from North Oakland. So he's like, Laviscus? Ain't no dude named Laviscus. Right? So it's hilarious.
He's really funny and really good. I think I've only seen the outtakes, but they were great. So, okay. Moving on here. Mil Kiper is right. The NFL should ban the too high safety look, Jay. Huerter whack.
Yeah, that's whack.
That actually became a thing yesterday.
It did.
And I think it's just because of the ESPN self-perpetuating machine.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like
Aaron
Mel, too.
Rodgers even mentioned it last night.
Did he?
Yes.
I didn't see
He
that
said
part.
something about how New England played a lot of too high safety, and he said it was Mel Kiper's worst nightmare. The interesting thing about that is Aaron Rodgers can say, I don't know what's going on. I don't follow anything. I don't read anything. It sounds like he reads and follows everything.
Of course he does. A lot of athletes do. They wouldn't tell you that. Hence why they have burner accounts and all this type of stuff. The one thing I know today in today's world, if your favorite player, favorite athlete has a social network, they have an account, they're seeing what people are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's unnatural not to pick up your phone at some point and look at it. And this is coming from a person who don't really deal with social network.
But you were saying you like Mel Kiper, but you don't care for his thoughts on a too high safety.
Yeah, that's whack.
Banned.
That's whack.
No, that's like embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
So where you going, whack?
Certainly not dope. He's a dope, but that's definitely whack. One more,
All
Jay.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, word or whack.
Yeah.
Carolina will stun the Raiders in the upset of the week.
You giving me the spread or straight up?
Upset. They'll stun them. Word or whack. Wow.
Where are they playing at? Carolina or Vegas? They at Allegiant?
I thought it was at Vegas.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I'll wait for you to give me the location of that.
Yes, Raiders are home.
That's whack.
Okay.
Yeah, that's whack.
Raiders, I have a win probability here, but I'm not sure what it's from. 69.7% win probability. So you're not buying that as the upset of the week?
Nah.
The Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle.
Yeah, I hear where you're going with that. The wily veteran, but nah. You still got to have a little bit of talent, nah. And I love Shaq Thompson, sack boy, I like him. But nah, if you were talking Carolina, I might go dope.
Really?
Yeah, I might be in the middle.
The only reason I'd even consider that for a moment is because not so much Andy Dalton, although he's certainly an improvement, but that could be something of a trap game for the Raiders. Going to Baltimore and winning, then coming back home against this dreadful team. But I'm with you.
Who's the trap game? Trap game meaning a letdown from last week? Okay.
Because, such a huge, you're focusing on, that's what I think happened to Cincinnati in their opener. It was our opener, but they played
towards the Chiefs.
Patriots because they had the Chiefs next week. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Who do we know if you have it pulled up right there, can you see who the Raiders play next week?
I'll have to check that for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I will get that for you when we come right back. Also, we'll take a look here at a former King who's getting his number retired this year. So which King
Jay Lucas
should get his number retired next? Is it Jerry Lucas? We found out next on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Temperatures dropping into the upper 50s in the valley tonight. Light north breeze on Saturday and lots of sunshine. Highs will be in the low 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
At Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. Whether you purchase a new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, Elk Grove Honda has the right Honda at the right price. In the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Have you heard you can listen to your favorite news podcasts ad-free? Good news! With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. Enjoy shows like The Daily, Up First, and Consider This, available ad-free on Amazon Music. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free. That's amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints of the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Parmalee.
I wanna close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich. Dasha.
Did your boobs stop working?
And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITVFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Here you go, Jay. Here's your upcoming Raiders schedule. Raiders have, of course, Carolina this week. Then they take on the Cleveland Browns.
I'm going to say whack.
They travel to Denver.
I'm going to say word.
They are back home again against the Steelers. They visit the
that's
Rams.
That's word.
October 27th, they're hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. That takes you through October.
You know, they play the Chiefs well for whatever reason.
I know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to still say whack.
But there are some winnable games in there.
They are.
Decent number of winnable games. Denver's just a disaster area.
Well, they got to sweep Denver.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to sweep Denver. You probably need to split with Kansas City. You probably need to split with the Chargers. In all honesty, the Browns have a great defense, but we're still waiting on to see what's going on with that offense this year. That's an opportunistic game that you can get, maybe take. Got anybody else? Who was the other one? Carolina, Denver, Kansas City, Cleveland. There was one more. Did I miss it? Oh, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, that's going to be, as you said yesterday, an old school slobber knocker.
Slobber knocker.
Yeah, that's a slobber knocker.
And that one's in Vegas. So.
Man, they got the East Coast teams coming to them this year.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Ashley's with us on Sactown Sports. Hey, Ashley, what's going on?
Not much. I was just wondering with your with the Niners, we got Bosa, we got Kittle, Devo, CMC, all of them, like you said, either out or at least questionable. Or probable, or no, not probable, doubtful for Kittle.
Doubtful, yeah.
But with that, who do you think that the Niners are going to turn to as some of our playmakers for this week? And do you think that we can come out with a win?
I'll say this. I think we might see some of Jacob Cowing on like a jet sweep. He might get some carries, maybe. But I think the simplest answer to that is probably the right one. And Jay has been saying this for a while now. The 49ers already are targeting Juszczyk at a high rate. He's already on pace, and it's only 2 games, but he's already on pace to catch, I think, more passes than he's ever caught before. So, I think they'll continue to throw to Juszczyk too. Other than that, I'm interested to see if, Garendo gets a shot or something like that. And there might be a chance, Ashley, don't you think? This game, they might have a chance. They might be up enough where they can play some guys and say, oh, let's see how this goes, and kind of play guys in situations where the stakes won't be as high. It'll be low leverage situations.
Yeah, I could definitely see something like that. I'm also interested to see how we use Jawan Jennings, if we put him on the outside more, or if he'll be a slot more. Mm-hmm. But I do definitely think that there's going to be a good opportunity for him. He's had a really, really good start to the year.
Ashley, what do you think here of our, we're just kind of having a little fun here, but what do you think of our prediction that the 49ers will set the all-time NFL record for sacks in a game with 13?
Honestly, I mean, I could see why you might think that, but I think it's a little much to ask, especially if Bosa doesn't play. But if Bosa plays, then I think that we have a much more realistic shot at doing it.
Yes.
But I'd say we're probably going to be closer to the 7, 8, 9 number.
All right, Ashley. He's far too reasonable on a Friday. He was not willing to dream with us, Jay. We're talking 13. We're down 14. We're down 15 sacks. Right?
Yeah, you. It's a lot.
13 would be 12. 12 is the record. 12 is a record.
Yeah.
Be happy with
Give me time. Give me a 10. Give me 10.
Yeah.
A straight dime.
Mm-hmm. Well, if they get like 3 or something, I don't know about you. I'm going to be disappointed.
Well, if they win and get 3, I'm good. Now I see where you're going with it, but yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Frank's with us on Sactown Sports. Hello, Frank. How are you?
What's up, Whitey?
Hey.
I say the Raiders get at least 10 sacks on the Red Rifle.
Frank coming in strong.
He hasn't played in 2 years. Where's he running to? He ain't going nowhere. That offensive line is terrible. Crosby's going to kill him. Dalton's going to be lucky if he makes it out of the game.
He might. How about that? What if Bryce Young had to go in the game?
Come back again?
Yeah.
Hey, but Whitey, we're going to play the Steelers and we're going to be 4-1.
All right.
Can I ask Frank an Oakland A's question when he's done?
Yeah, go ahead, man. What do you want to know?
I want to know this. Thursday, I don't know if you heard this, Frank, and you're a big Oakland A's fan. The Oakland A's are giving out vouchers for a replica of the Coliseum, a giveaway day. You get the vouchers, you come through the gates, but you have to get the replica. You turn your voucher in, you have to get the replica Coliseum on your way out. And as Whitey has said, they're telling people first 25,000. They're telling people to start getting in line in the 7th inning or maybe a little earlier, which a lot of A's fans are starting to feel as if they're trying to get A's fans out of the stadium and not, do the memorable stand up, clap, ovation, sell the team. What's your thoughts on that, Frank, as an A's fan?
I agree with Whitey. They don't want to embarrass Fisher. They want everybody to go out and everything. But you got to remember something, too. Last time they had a promotion at the Coliseum, they gave some voucher out for some shirt or something, and then people try to collect their shirt, and they said they didn't have the right voucher, and they screwed over a whole ton of people getting shirts.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah. All right, Frank.
Fisher's no good, but Whitey, we're going to win. We're going to win Sunday 24-7. Andy Dalton gets sacked 10 times. Crosby has 4.5 sacks.
All right. Writing it down here, Frank. Yeah. Thank you. So how about that?
10 piece.
If the Raiders had 10 sacks and the 49ers had 12 in the same
that'd
week.
Be wild. That'd be wild.
I can see how if you're a Raider fan right now, you are feeling pretty good about that.
Yes, they should. As much as I hate on the Raiders, the one thing they have is a strong front seven. I've said that numerous times. Max Crosby's an animal. The next 4 or 5 games are winnable. They are very winnable for the Raiders, which you read. You got Carolina, you got Cleveland, you got Pittsburgh, you got KC, and you have Denver. Even if you go 4-1 in that's not bad. 3-2 is a good look for the Raiders.
Yeah. As far as the 49ers go, here's Trey on the text line. This is a great opportunity to develop the youth for the future. We have enough veteran pieces playing to get the dub. And that's basically what Trent Williams was saying. Like, silver lining, blessing in disguise. Some guys that don't get to play, now they're going to play, and maybe we'll find out they're really good. Same thing that happened with Brock Purdy. No one thought he was any good, and look how good he is.
Yeah.
Jay's not buying that.
No, I'm not. No,
but it's just a matter of trying to make a positive out of something that obviously on the surface is not so positive.
True. And that's what leaders do. Captains of the teams, captain of the squad do. Shouts out to Trent Williams for trying to, keep the faithful and the squad together and not panic. And so I can respect that. I'm not feeling it. As you said, word or whack, I'm saying it's whack, but
or dope.
It's not even dope. It's whack, but I can see where Trent is going. Where are you feeling? But you understand that. I think you kind of buy into that, or
well,
no?
That's Trent Williams.
Premise?
Some of that is, it's not coach speak because he's not a coach. It's veteran speak.
Yeah.
But the thing to me, if I'm Shanahan, I'm just right now so grateful, as worried as I am about the injuries. I'm so grateful that this is happening when I've got the Rams or what's left of the Rams. And then I've got New England, I don't have the Lions and the Chiefs or something like that. It's like, oh my goodness. It's all in how you look at it. Oh, this is a disaster. This guy is falling. We're so unlucky. Or wow, we're so lucky because when this is happening, we're playing these 2 bad teams.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you got to beat the Patriots. You need to beat the Rams, no matter what. Like you, even healthy, non-healthy, it'd be a little different if your quarterback was out, and I'm knocking on wood, and some of the other guys, Trent Williams was out, knocking on wood. Nah, you still have a better squad that's getting ready to lace them up and hit the field on Sunday than as we had Greg Beecham from the AP who covers the Rams. Greg is like, the first 2 or 3 questions we asked him, Whitey's like, yeah, this person's not playing. And this guy is getting ready to jump in, and that person's not playing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? This person may have to be called up, and like it was Ringling Brothers Circus.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
To Ashley's question, I'm looking forward to seeing. Maybe we will see some of those new faces or some people with expanded roles. It's kind of fun to see, or maybe it'll just be like you've said. Kyle Juszczyk's going to be catching a lot more passes.
Juice got to get out there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Trent going to have to do his thing. I expect 20 plus rushes from Jordan Mason. This is a perfect week where Kyle Shanahan sauces this game away as quick as possible, especially if they jump out to a lead, of 7 or 10.
But that's hard to do when it takes you so long. You don't have your playmakers, and you can't. It's not like 3 plays we scored. It's like, we got to go on a 12-play drive.
No. We got almighty Brandon Ayuk. We got 3rd and 1. Come on now. There's some guys that's on it. We got Juszczyk. We got Jordan Mason. We got some guys. Sounds like Cowing may get a little more run this
I would
this
like to
week.
see that.
Yeah, so there's still, unlike the Rams, there's still some talent that's there. And even though some of the Cowing guys, Salbert, guys like that who are getting ready to play, doesn't mean that the leaders aren't still there in a lot of positions. Man, 49ers got to step up and do their thing. No excuses.
When we come back, we'll tell you about the former King. The former King is going to get his jersey retired, and Imran Pilati is going to join us, host of the True Sports Card Show. So we got a lot of fun we're going to have them coming up here with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
And welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Recently, I was at the dealership and I had to get a look at their Sprinter vans up close and personal. And boy, was I blown away. One of the first things I noticed was the Mercedes star in the front. So you know it's made with the same premium quality Mercedes-Benz is known for. Plus, their Sprinter vans are fully customizable. So if you want to use it for your business, maybe you want to go on a camping trip or even hauling your kids and their teammates to sporting events around town, they can set it up for you. From vans to box trucks to RVs to even limos, it's a one-stop shop. Don't believe me? Well, go see for yourself. Give the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van a test drive at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. You won't be disappointed. It's just a short drive down I-5 off of 8 Mile Road or anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com. And while you're there, tell me your boy Drape sent you.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A. member FDIC.
High voltage live boxing action returns to Northern California Saturday, September 21st at the venue at Thunder Valley with Thunder Showdown, featuring the undefeated 12th ranked welterweight in the world, Amari Jones, plus Alan Sanchez versus Sal Briseno, and 8 more exciting undercard fights with Maribel Guerrero, Blake McKernan, Gabriel Garcia, Anthony Hernandez, Ruben Torres, Alexander Espinoza, and more. Don't miss the Thunder Showdown, September 21st at Thunder Valley. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Play card subject to change.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Tape it on the local level. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Thank you, Jay. That was one of my requests today for the Flashback Friday. Brothers Johnson, Strawberry Letter 22.
My cousins.
Yeah. And look who's here from True Sports Card and the True Sports Card Show. Heard here Saturdays on Sactown Sports. Emerson Pilati, who's going to wrestling tonight by himself.
Are you? Dog, you going by yourself?
I haven't been on the show in 3 weeks, and that's how you introduce me?
Well, yeah.
Is that whack word or no?
Look,
right now.
First of all, I'm driving in, and I hear Whitey saying whack and dope, and I'm just like, oh, cringe.
Yeah.
Cringe.
Yeah.
And then on top of all that, thinking that I was going to come in and make fun of him, the guy starts off going to wrestling by himself. Emerson Pilati. Yes, I'm going alone.
That's good.
That's
fun.
Literally tried to bribe multiple people to get to go with me.
Yeah.
I'll buy your ticket. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
No, I'll buy the food. No, I'm good. My wife, I love you. Will you come with me? I'd rather sit at home with our child.
Tonight for
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here I am.
What do you think? Is that word whack or dope?
It's in the middle.
That's dope.
It's word. It's word. I'll tell you this too. There's a saying. Roman Reigns, who's one of the most popular wrestlers of all time, is going to be there tonight, and it starts early, 4:45 for some reason. Obviously,
wrestling starts at 4:45.
Yeah. East Coast taping. It's SmackDown live-ish, right? And he's known for saying "We the ones," right? We the ones. Improper grammar, but we the ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one going to.
You're the one.
You the one going to wrestling by yourself. So feel free to catch up with me. I'll be running around the neighborhood.
What's the main event?
They don't really say this is the main event, but they do tell you who's wrestling.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns will be there. Cody, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes will be there. I believe Jey Uso will be there. I'm not quite sure because they split them up between Raw and SmackDown, so they have 2 different brands, almost like American League versus National League. And every once in a while they have interleague play, but for the most part, we're watching the National League tonight.
You ever been to any kind of? Well, you're going by yourself to boxing?
No, I'm not going by myself now. Yeah. Don't do me like that.
Well, hold on here a second, Jay. Are you saying that it's whack to go by yourself? Or it's not, it's undope? Because we the one.
No. I've been plenty of places by myself, as I know I have both of you guys, especially when it comes to sports. I'll say this. My wife is not the biggest sports fan. She'll go and act like as if she's supporting me in the squad, but she's not really the one to be like, yeah, let's go to the game, unless it's for me. So, no, I've definitely been to events myself, but I'm hoping, well, you know what? Now that I've talked my way through that, I have no clue if she's coming tomorrow. I might have to do what Imran does. Maybe you guys might get a phone call from me asking, do you want to come out?
Now I was begging somebody to go with me. Nobody wanted to go with me, right? My wife loves to go to the movies alone. Truly.
Really?
Yeah, she's like, I'm like, oh, what are we going to see? She goes, I don't know what you're going to see, but I'll be over there watching this movie. And I was like, wow, she likes to go watch movies by herself. And I don't know. I'm one of those guys that goes, don't go in there. What are you doing?
Can't you
screaming at the movie screen.
You just can't you just tell her I'll go with you? I won't talk to you, but can I just go in with you and then maybe we can talk about it later? Or no?
Because that's not him organically. He's like he said, he's one of those guys that.
What are you doing?
There you go.
Don't do that. Yeah, I'm screaming.
You know
at the
that's
screen.
a drop, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's getting pulled immediately.
Yeah.
I shouldn't poke fun at you, even good naturedly, because you brought some wonderful, wonderful gifts here. Can't thank you enough for this. Is
It's a 2023 Topps Gilded. I gave you each one.
I didn't look at mine yet.
Okay. The one that's in your hand, Whitey, go ahead and describe it and tell us what you got there.
Congratulations. You have just received a gold framed Hall of Famers autograph card from Topps Golden Collection. Andre Dawson.
Ooh, the Hawk.
Numbered to 99. And it's number 4, I think. 64, pardon me. And it is a seriously beautiful signature.
You got the fro?
It's poking out the side.
Little bit.
I will tell you that I think
1978 or so, probably.
If my memory serves me correct, 1989 National League MVP.
Yes.
And won
with the Cubs,
which was a losing team. I think they were a losing team. I think he had 49 home runs that year or something like that.
You're talking about, I think that was 87.
Where he won the MVP?
Yeah.
I was barely alive. You, though, were in your prime. You were in your prime.
Yes, but you were still wrong.
A little bit younger than that old guy.
I was trying to find somebody that was more your era, but Honus Wagner cards are hard to come by.
Whitey, I just thank you for being, so old.
What? I couldn't. What did he say?
The fact that that's a sound drop is amazing.
It's really a beautiful card. What did you get, Jay? What did Santa
Let's
bring
see.
you
I'm
today?
going to turn it over. I'm not going to read the back because that's what it is. And I actually seen who it is. It is a baller.
Yeah.
How about that? Somebody who performed in the outfield for many, many moons, of course, down here in Los Angeles. I have a Torrey Hunter Topps Gilded Collection. It is number 3 of 10.
Ooh,
that's dope.
10 in the world. He's at number 3.
Dang, that is crazy.
So yours is limited to 10. Mine's limited to 99. That tells you
Shots
whatever.
out, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Of course, man.
I give it back to you.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah,
want
I
to
tried to give it back too.
Again, these are great gifts that I love giving out to hold this over your head on a later date.
Yes, sir.
I have to confess, I give Imran back things a lot. I tried to give him this one back, but it wasn't my best 100%. Here, take this back. It's kind of the obligatory. Hey, you can have back if you want.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
It's kind of like, I'll help. Do you need help? Yeah, I'd like you to help me move. Man, I shouldn't have asked that question.
Can I ask you something, Em?
Let's do it.
This is this real gold? Not real gold, but is this plated or
It's a
something?
plated gold frame. Yeah. The
gotcha.
box itself comes from 2023 Topps Gilded.
This is a refractor, isn't it?
No.
It's shining red. Look at that.
No, that's the light of this. There's a soundboard over there, and the reflection.
Now it's green.
He's
Okay,
getting.
yeah. All right.
Dude, this is getting whacked by the minute.
Thank you for being, so old.
Yeah, why you're showing your age on
It's
that.
getting whacked all of a sudden.
It sure looks.
This is nice, man.
It's very nice.
So what is this come in a certain box, or is the Gilded Collection the box itself?
The Gilded Collection is a box itself. Last year's boxes come with 2 autographs. One that's in your hand as an example, and then one that's a regular card autograph, not in a frame, and another 4-ish cards that are just numbered. That box goes for about $650.
Do they have blasters for $30?
No, they don't. You could not find this on your Walmart shelves. Whitey goes, honey, you want me to go get some more milk? Be happy to go to Target and get some for you. Meanwhile, he's in one section by the register.
Have you been following us? How do you know that?
Sometimes you could just look at somebody and know who they are.
How many? You said it's how much for how many of these?
About $650 for 6-ish
The box?
cards. 7,
6-ish.
yeah, six or 7
They're
cards.
really beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to be in a personal. Maybe you don't want to disclose this, but this is not the Imran that I would know. How did you come across these? Did you open some boxes, trade? They were left to the side.
I'm glad you brought that up. Okay. I am in a buying mood. Right now, I am unable to fulfill the orders that we have for the customers. So people have been coming in and selling a lot of stuff. And this coming up on October, people are starting to put their eggs away to get ready for Christmas. Right. They've got funding coming up, and it's an election year. There's sometimes money gets tight during this time. And I'm ready to cash out some people and make sure that they have some buckets, some ducats before we go. Ducats is another word, Whitey, similar to dope and word and
I
whack.
already used that word today. I literally did.
You used the word ducat? You did.
I
You were
did.
talking to who are you talking
to Greg Beecham.
Maybe that's why I thought of the word ducats. And I thought to myself, Whitey would never use that word. That's whack. But yet you still did it. And
That's an old word.
So people are coming in, Jay, and they're selling, and I'm cashing them out, and we're really in a buying mood right now. So if you want to come down to the store,
I was going to say,
True Sports Cards there in Rockland, 6661 Stanford Ranch.
buying?
I am buying, provided that you do not bring me. Wait, I have an Andre Dawson gold one. Jay, I got a number 10 Torrey Hunter. Yeah. How do you
let it go cheap though?
Why did the guy's business fail? He gave stuff away, then bought it back. Wow,
interesting business model.
What can I ask?
How do you make
Em?
it volume?
Can I ask you what is the what is the dopest thing you have bought as of late?
And what's the wackest?
And yeah, what is the wackest?
The wackest has been anything Bryce Young. I literally texted my group, my team, and I was like, "No Bryce Young, no matter what, it doesn't matter." And I feel bad for the kid, right? But his career has been whack.
Yeah.
It has not been dope. Okay. And but the best thing I've been buying is Ohtani. And what a game last night. This guy might have had, and Jay, as a baseball fanatic as you are, you could tell me, is it the greatest baseball game that's ever been played by an offensive player? I believe it is.
It's pretty close.
6 for 6.
It's pretty
3
close.
homers, 2 stolen bases, and 10 RBI in a 9-inning game. Jeez.
It's close.
It's got to be the greatest.
Yeah, it's close.
I can't, with the pressure of 50-50 on the line, and you got 50-50 that game of all games.
Rennie Stennett was 7 for 7 one game, I think. So I don't know. There's competition.
Who's this? Arbuckle? Are we talking about my boy Arbuckle?
Is that your guy?
Arb? Hey, man, it's my guy, Arb.
What do you think of the whole situation now where the gentleman, speaking of Shohei, got the ball, the 50th home run ball. MLB Network's Craig Mish reported that the fan went into a discussion with the Dodgers, the organization, but he opted to walk out with the ball. So, what do you think? What do you think they were offering? It. I know
signed baseball, a photo of shit.
Yeah.
Ohtani. Man, that's $100,000 ball.
Yeah,
that really is pretty easily. And if you saw the shot from the camera angle from the bleachers, somebody posted it. I think ESPN ended up posting it online. It was a mad scramble. People were like, "That's the fight." People were jumping all over each other like a dog.
That's not dope. That's gangster.
Hey,
I see you working over there, White. I see you, bro.
Next week, gangsta.
He's trying to be 209 in the 916 right now. I'm just uncomfortable with this.
He's 707.
Yes,
yeah,
that's right.
Is it what I mean? Someone who does this, and like you said, you're talking about buying right now. You know, you're in a cheerful mood. What would someone like yourself pay for this?
What's this?
That ball, Shohei Ohtani.
Fair market value, I really believe, is somewhere between 75 and 125,000 is my guess, because the chances of a 50-50 happening ever again. I mean, of course, it's always like is that Roger Bannister, the guy that ran the mile under 4?
It was a long time ago. How am I supposed to know?
You were probably in your 40s at that time. 40s and 40s. What I'm getting at, though, is once somebody breaks something, then it tends to be, it's possible, and then you'll see it happen multiple times. Canseco with his 40-40, that was unheard of in 1988. Now we have multiple people who have done it, and I mean, Acuna had a 40-70 last year. So once the barrier is broken, it makes it. I think this is tough to see a 50-50 season ever again. I don't know if it's going to happen again, and that ball in particular was the one that made it happen. So the steals already were accomplished, and then the ball made it happen.
Yeah.
So I think that ball really has some significant value. What would I pay for it, Jay?
Yeah.
Between 75 and 125,000 if I had that, which I don't, because I just give away, valuable autographs like Torrey Hunter,
baby.
And
I have a question. Correct me if I'm wrong.
And Roger Bannister is the guy. Yes.
Yeah.
That did the 4-minute mile or whatever it was.
The 52 Olympics.
Yeah. R-band. Wasn't there the guy that did Spawn, Todd McFarlane? He spent like millions of dollars on
the McGuire ball.
McGuire and Bonds, maybe, but he ended up paying like way too much.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Well,
He
what's
spent like
too
$3 million?
What's too much?
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
What's too much on a 1-on-1?
Mm-hmm.
It really is what the market says it's worth.
But
you know,
didn't the value from the McGuire ones come down too because of steroids?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, obviously he was never never convicted of having done steroids, or public opinion said he did it. Right. Public opinion is already, and so have the writers. I mean, the guy fell off the ballot. Same with Bonds. Both of them just fell off the ballot. Yeah. So, which is sad at the time. But yeah, they paid big bucks for those. And then
you're pro steroids. That's good to know.
I'm pro. It's legal at the time of whatever it was. If they wanted it to be a problem, they should have banned or been more strict on what they were doing. Because they were hitting against guys who were also on steroids pitching. So, I'm not the sanctity of it. Yeah. I know, but it felt judgmental, and I wanted to make sure that I addressed it, Whitey. When is this segment over, by the way? When are you going home?
We're coming up on it.
I'll stick around with Jay. But yeah, as an honorary drive guy, I'll tell you that I'll take the other side of it, where I think that if we're counterpoint, because I'm guessing that you're probably very make sure the game is played the right way.
No, on steroids now, pardon me for interrupting, but to answer your question, I used to be about as anti-steroid as you could be, and now I'm like, I'm sure that guys from the 70s were doing it. We don't know who they were, so I'm not going to.
Oh, they were on drugs, maybe just not on steroids.
Well, maybe they were, though. I mean, the Mitchell report said there's been performance-enhancing drugs in baseball since the 70s, and people just ignore that. So my point isn't that's terrible. It's like, okay, that's just the way it is. I'm not going to worry about. I think Barry should be in there. So I've done a 180 on that.
Sure. And I think it's one of those things.
I was just trying to take a shot at you.
Well, it didn't work. Very, very poorly done. And keep trying.
Yeah.
And if you're going to take a shot at me, you best not miss. And you did.
There you go.
It was whack.
Somebody from your area code, Emron 209, got thousands of baseball cards. Guess this is pretty vague, big picture. Baseball cards, football cards from the 90s and early 2Ks, Y2Ks.
Ooh.
What should I do with them to get the most value?
Winter is coming. Great kindling for your fire.
Yeah. That's sad truth.
You don't need an expert to tell you this, Whitey. Why don't you tell them what to do with this stuff? Unfortunately.
Well, if you like them, keep them and have fun with them and enjoy them, and maybe hand them down to somebody, but don't think they're ever going to be worth much, because everybody who has cards has a billion of every card you have.
It's usually,
it's
Jay,
not your fault.
Jay, what I usually do is when they call in, hey, I'm interested in selling some cards, I go, have you collected recently? No, I haven't. Okay. How old are you? I'm 46. I'm 47. I'm 51. I'm 44. Okay. Have you collected since you were a kid? Yes, that's it. I know exactly what you got. You have 1986 through 1994, with the exception of very few cards. It's just a mass production.
Yeah. Some of them are really nice cards. It's just they were overproduced. So there's no value.
I tell this to people all the time. It's the right player. It's just the wrong time to collect.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Frank Thomas rookie card, 1990 Leaf, $15.
Dang.
Right.
I
One of the greatest hitters.
Unless it's the air card that doesn't have his name, but I wouldn't expect you to know that.
But that's a 1990 Topps, no name on front, which goes for about $2,000. Yeah, but I don't know anything about that. Again, Whitey, you're talking to the expert here. Come on.
Yeah, I think a great example of that is, with one exception, please correct me if I'm wrong, I know you will. Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards are like, because there's so many of them. The Upper Deck one is worth a little bit, but
it's about $50 on the Upper Deck one.
And it's Ken Griffey Jr., but they just made so many at that time that Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards are like, it's like $6, right? I mean,
in the other ones, yeah, but 1999 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card, the Star Rookie #1. That's the one that's one of the iconic cards that will be collected forever. Mm-hmm. Anybody my age, I'm 47 next month. Every time that you look at that, you think of your 12-year-old self and go, I remember that I wanted that card really bad, and it was outside of my budget. It was $25 at the time. So now in your 40s, you're looking at it and going, it's $50. God, that's such nostalgia for me.
Yes,
I got to grab it.
Yes, I agree.
So it's always going to sell and sell very well. And the great equalizer to bring the values of things up is getting it graded and having it a PSA or a BGS 9.5 or PSA 10 or SEC 10, something graded in the numerical on the high grade. Because that will go for that Griffey that's $50 will go for almost $2,000 in a PSA 10.
Couple questions for you. What's a Ricky Henderson rookie worth?
That's a 1980 Topps Ricky Henderson. We recently sold one in the store, a PSA 9 out of 10. We sold it for just under, I think we sold it just under $1,700.
Really?
Yeah. That card by itself is roughly about 60 to 80 bucks. Just ungraded, raw, ungraded.
Yeah.
But the higher up the ladder, I mean, I've seen that card in a PSA 10 sell for $20,000.
One example is the Ken Griffey. Oh, I'm sorry. That's from the gentleman that was wondering here about the value.
Is that how you read, by the way?
Well, it's
scrunched
it's
up
in,
nose.
Yes,
and just
because
really,
it's one piece of it's here and one piece of it's there.
Ah.
One example, Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card with a card like that, or Kobe Bryant rookie cards, or Barry Bonds rookie card be worth getting graded and then try to sell it? Asks somebody from the 209.
the answer is yes, but you figure that the grading cost is going to cost you between $20 and $30. So one of the things that you
I
want
have a guy who says he'll do it for me for free.
yeah, that's because he feels pity for you. That'd be me. That'd be me. And not only that, but the card's just whack what you're sending in. What I would do is, in order to evaluate whether or not you should get a card graded, consider it's going to charge between $20 and $30. That's what we charge at the store. We do everything for you. We ship it off, etc. Feel free to bring them by. But you go to the sold section of eBay and you look up the card that you want. As an example, 1987 Topps is a Barry Bonds card, the rookie card, as an example. That card is about $3. But a PSA 9 goes for about $20. So right now you're already upside down if you spend $30 to get it graded. But a PSA 10 is something like $75 to $100. But what are the chances?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
1 in 10, maybe.
I don't know. You seriously, you tell us.
It's like
what are the chances?
You look at the population report of cards. If there's 1,000 cards that have been graded and you see 100 of them in PSA 10, it's a 1 in 10 chance. And that's, of all the cards that were submitted, 10% of them were that. So you got to look at it and say, risk versus reward, is it even worth it to me? So we'll help you with that evaluation, but that's a good way to get us started. But anything in the 80s and late 80s, early 90s is a little tough. The one card that you definitely want to get graded in the early 90s is going to be the 1993 SP Derek Jeter rookie card. It's a foil card. If you could get a PSA 10, which is a hallelujah if you could do it, you're talking about 50 grand.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the entire card front is foil. So even if you were to open a pack today of 1993, it's been sitting and marinating for over 30 years. And so when you take it apart, it'll crack the foil just because it's foil front sitting together for years.
Mm-hmm.
And the chances of getting a 10 is just super slim. And that's why it's worth so much.
How much would that, what did you say, a pack or a box of those? Or how much would that cost if you bought one today? If I went to your store?
A 1993 SP? Is that what you meant?
No, I mean, you said if you opened it, had a pack and you opened it. What if I was going to I want a pack of that and see what I get?
Yeah, well, first of all, whenever you're buying a pack that's sealed that long ago, plus it's also has a potential rare card in it, it could be very easily tampered, as in opened, put whack cards in there, and then reseal it.
They put whack cards
They put whack cards in there, but then they sold it for premium. So I'll look while we're here, SP pack, and they'll do something like you could send it to PSA and get the pack sealed in the sense of like an encapsulation. Says, we guarantee you, PSA says we authenticated this thing, it has not been opened.
Mm-hmm.
So a pack right now for SP pack you could buy right now on eBay for $240 for one pack.
Yeah, and the very slim odds that you're going to get anything worth getting, and you're telling us even if you did, good chance it'd be in terrible condition.
Yeah, there's
it's not really
I'm
a
not buying
percentage
that.
play.
Yeah, and that's why the pack is available, because they don't want to take the chance. They'll leave it to a sucker to buy that.
Yeah, more card whack or word or dope with Emerald Pilati. Yeah, what's up?
No.
Yeah, all right, we'll be right back with that. Emerald's going to stick around.
Word up.
Guys on Sactown Sports.
Progressive presents Renters MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super-rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
DQ presents the sound of BOGO-free Blizzard treats in the DQ app. It's the sound of downloading the DQ app, redeeming the sweetest BOGO-free Blizzard deal, telling all your friends, and heading to DQ. For BOGO-free any-size Blizzard treats only in the DQ app for a limited time. Download it today. At participating locations, limitations apply. DQ. Happy tastes good.
Imagine your team always looking and feeling their best in high-performance technical workwear. Cintas can make it happen. They have garments for almost every job imaginable. And with the Cintas Workwear program, you get freshly laundered garments delivered every week for everyone on your team. Great garments without the bother of laundry. That's a real perk for employees. Find out how Cintas can boost team image and morale. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Tired of ads interrupting your favorite news podcasts? Good news! Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Stay up to date on everything newsworthy with podcasts like The Daily, Up First, and 5 Things Uninterrupted at Amazon.com/ad-free. Just head to Amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Temperatures dropping into the upper 50s in the valley tonight. Light north breeze on Saturday and lots of sunshine. Highs will be in the low 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let's fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $67. Plumbing, sewer, electric, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Toyota's legendary truck event is on, and the deals are legendary. Get $2,000 cash back on any 2024 Tundra, or get a great lease on a new 2024 Tacoma 4x4. Get to your Toyota dealer now, because this truck event is gonna be Toyota. Let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Ends 9/30/24.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Carmelie.
I want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich. Dasha. And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
If you're ready for this, we gotta rock this place. We gotta do some class. We gotta do our best. We gotta make it last. We got drums on the mic. We got rockin' in the
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Emron, that's Whack Palladius with us, of course, from True Sports Cards. Got to ask him in just a moment here about a guy who's in Sacramento now who maybe we should all be investing in as far as his cards. Should we all be jumping on the Bryce Eldridge wagon? We'll find out from Emron in just a moment. First, Adam has been hanging on. Adam, you're on with the Drive Guys. What's going on today, sir?
Hey, first of all, I wanted to say I walked into Inmer and shot and had a great time. But I got a question.
I was watching a friend sell a card and sold a Jamar Chase rookie card for $2. And once it was sold, flipped it over and realized there's a Devontae Smith rookie on the back. Real weird error. What did they lose? I'm curious.
So just let me get clarification. The card had Jamar Chase on the front, but the back was misprinted to where Devontae was on the back, or vice versa.
The back of a Devontae Smith card in the front of a Jamar Chase.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's an unforced error. In the old days when I was young, and maybe you were young as well, you sound much younger than me. That would be well, your voice is perfect, unlike old man Whitey over here.
What?
Huh? Yeah, I would just say that those unforced errors would have been really hot when we were younger, but now it's more of a distraction than anything else.
Really?
Nobody really looks at that and goes, wow, it's so unique. I mean, some people think that it's of value, but again, we're in the world of pristine. Most of Whitey's collection is pristine. People want it the way that it's supposed to be. So while it was unique and different, I don't think it held a lot of value. And I think that your friend might have even dodged it, but $2 for a Jamar Chase rookie seems a little low in the grand scheme of things. But I wouldn't say that he lost his retirement by selling this thing. But it's a unique and different thing.
There you go, Adam.
We'll see you the next time in the store, Adam.
So you're telling me that I have a 2021 Prism Marvin Bagley front, Vince Carter.
It's already an error. You own a Marvin Bagley card.
I was assuming that I could just anytime I wanted, just walk
Marvin
out
Bagley
here
rookie cards are equivalent to 1988 Topps baseball cards.
It's not even a rookie card.
Even worse. I'm wondering why you're holding that.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. So how about Bryce Eldridge? He's in town. He's the Giants' hot prospect. He's 19 years old. He tore up AA. He's turned up AAA. Should we be in on Bryce Eldridge cards with both feet, Emron? Are there even any Bryce Eldridge cards in existence yet?
I was reading the YouTube chat, but I heard what you said.
Okay.
I guess I've been making fun of you too much. I apologize.
Why?
Because he says that he thinks I'm from the East Coast. Because I make fun of people so much.
Oh no, it's okay.
I'm just from
Greater
Stockton.
Ted,
I'm just from Stockton. You don't understand. Whitey and I share candlelight dinners together. We're very close.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Would you say that?
Yes. If I have to
Hey,
on
listen.
radio, I would say that.
Is that right?
That's absolutely
We
right.
better say it's right.
That's kind of you to say. Yeah.
Okay. I'm an honorary drive guy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yes.
We'll
Bryce Eldridge. What do I do?
Hold my hand while I tell you this.
Do I invest in Bryce Eldridge?
So I did a little research on this Bryce Eldridge young man. He is 19 years old.
Yeah.
He is 6'7".
Ooh.
He's had a meteoric rise through the farm system. He's now in AAA. He's 19 years old. He doesn't turn 20 until next month. And this young man, I mean, I wouldn't even ID him for alcohol. He looks much older. He looks like he's in his late 20s, early 30s. This kid is a man.
Mm-hmm.
And what an amazing story this young man is. So I don't know. I don't know if you should invest in him, but if I was to invest in any type of a prospect, this is the look of a guy that I would invest in because it appears to have all the tools.
But it's just much more speculative in baseball, right?
Always.
Especially a guy who's not even to the majors yet.
Always. Yeah, but people want to say, I invested in him before he was ever anything.
Sure.
Right.
As long as you are aware of the risk.
One of the most
money.
Yeah, and one of the most popular products that we carry, that any card shop would carry, is Bowman Chrome. And that usually has players that are in the low minors that are, getting their first cards. So people are picking them up. Currently right now, when you buy Bowman Chrome, you're buying cards and you're looking for people that you're like, well, who's in it? Some young kid that was 18 years old that was drafted in single A. Okay. Do we know he's good? I don't know.
I think your guy Shep, when I was on with you guys a couple weeks ago, I think he said he went through his old Bowman Chromes and he had like an Aaron Judge or something that he didn't remember he had.
Aaron Judge came out in 2013 was his first batch of cards.
Mm-hmm.
And his rookie cards were in 2017. So for 4 years, this guy was in the farm system one way or another. Now he's from Linden, so we knew who he was, but for the most part, who knew that this 6'7" guy was going to turn into one of the greatest hitters of his generation? And so that's the beauty of speculative stuff. And the cool thing about it is you're going to get to see Bryce coming through town and playing for the River Cats, if not
Right.
the Giants. At this point, do you bring them up to the big leagues? I don't even know if you can still call people right now during this time, because I know that they're making their call-ups right now. And now with the Giants eliminated as of yesterday, they can try some stuff that they haven't before. I remember being in the crowd when Posey got his first hit.
Really?
Or first at bat. I was there. And it was on September 11th of one of the years. I can't remember what year it was, but it was September 11th. And I remember seeing Posey get his first at bat and being there. And now thinking back to his Hall of Fame based career, being able to be there. I was there when it first happened. So it's kind of cool.
I remember I was at and this is not, you can make a Ty Cobb joke, but no, I was at an Albuquerque Dukes game with my nephews, and I was telling them how, this guy on the Dukes Piazza, he's going to be great. Watch this guy. He's going to be a tremendous player. I think he struck out 5 times. They were like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. I know. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140 from Trey. What's the rule of thumb for a PSA Gem Mint 10? How much value does it roughly add to a card?
So when we used to read the Beckett magazines that had the multipliers, there was never graded cards in Beckett. It was always just the card ungraded. And whenever there was like a multiplier, it would be based on something like, if this is the short print version or a gold version, it's going to be 1.5 times. There's really no multiplier that goes across the board. But again,
so there's no one simple.
There's no one simple formula to this. But for the most part, and I want to be careful when I say this, because I don't want anybody to hold this to, as the holy Bible of this, but I would just tell you that like it is roughly double what the raw value would be, sometimes 3 times as much. PSA 9s tend to be right around the same value for new cards.
But then, like you said, minus the cost of getting it.
Right. Yeah. New cards, people are really looking for that Gem Mint 10. They're looking for the Gem Mint 10. Now, the older you go, as an example, I have a Johnny Bench card. It's a 1971 Topps Johnny Bench. It's a PSA 8.
The black
Correct.
border?
Black border. PSA 8. I sold it for $2,200. That card by itself, ungraded, goes for somewhere around $25. And the reason why it's such a multiplier, 100 times multiplier, is because that particular card, that set is so difficult to get in high grade because it's fully black bordered, goes all the way to the edges, and it chips all the time. 1985 Topps football, same exact thing. That's Warren Moon's rookie year. Black bordered, chipping, etc. So there's condition sensitive issues and things like that. So there's not a blanket multiplier across the board, but for the most part in modern stuff, you're looking at roughly double, if not 3 times the value of raw, and PSA 9s are roughly about the same value.
Yeah, I have some 1971 Topps. They are not pristine.
Yeah.
But
even 7s and 6s still do very well.
Because of the card of the
Correct.
age of the card.
Mm-hmm.
Emma, I came across this and I knew they had NASCAR, or excuse me, not a Formula One cards. And I saw this a couple of weeks ago. I was at somewhere and one of my friends had some cards and I was like, man, you got racing cards? He was like, yeah.
Tennis cards.
It's crazy. And I saw Lewis Hamilton. Do those cards hold weight? Do they have value? Is there something to those cards?
They do have value, but they were nowhere near where they were just 2 years ago. And what what ends up happening is what's in front of us often will get us excited about whatever that is. The Olympics is an example. The Olympics cards sold really well. If I had the Olympics cards on the shelf right now, as far as the box, probably would just be sitting there until the next Olympics. The F1 series came up on Netflix, and it really got people watching. I watched a few episodes and I found it to be interesting. And what's in front of you tends to be, something that's hot and does really well. It was an inflated value, Jay. And then over time, people realized, okay, it's kind of cool. I watched the F1 actual race in Vegas on TV, and I found that to be exciting.
Really?
But I don't watch anything else past that. I just thought it was pretty cool.
You ain't rocking on Monaco or nothing.
Right.
Huh?
I understood it, watching how it all worked now and all that stuff. But the interest is just Wayne. Nobody really comes in and goes, do you have any F1 cards? And if they do, they're hardcore F1 followers. Wow. But there's cards for everything nowadays. It's wild. Pickleball's new.
They got pickleball cards? Nah, come on.
I'm not joking. There are pickleball.
That's whack.
It may be whack to you, but not to the pickleball enthusiast. right? And
what is it of the pro teams?
Yeah, Leaf makes Leaf pickleball cards, and I was told by the representative, if you don't buy, you're going to miss out. I go, I will miss out. That's just fine by me. Yeah, pickleball checklist. Okay, here it is.
What?
Leaf metal pickleball hobby box, $89.
Come on now.
All right here.
I'm looking
Does it
at
have
it
any
too.
autos?
Right here.
Yeah,
it does. It comes with
of who?
Of pickleball guy. 5 numbered autograph cards per box.
Every car should be autographed.
Every card should be free. Pickleball. Okay, they have bowling. Do you know
Bowling cards?
What's
My
that
boy
guy's
Duke Snyder or something?
No, Duke Snyder's a baseball player.
Duke Snyder, bowling.
Duke Snyder, the bowler.
Yeah, Duke Snyder.
Yeah, who was it? The Leaf. What's his name? Pete Weber. He'd
Yeah,
wear
That
like
sounds about right.
He'd wear the
Yeah.
glasses that kind of mystified, like sunglasses, and he'd scream, "Ah, I'm the
Kind
best
of,
in the
yeah.
world!" And he'd be screaming that.
Best bowler in the world.
Yeah,
Let's look it up.
He has bowling cards. Everybody has a card if you want. They have ultimate frisbee cards.
Come on.
I'm not playing.
Who's buying that?
The ultimate frisbee fan.
But
Both of them.
And with speculators, or are they just like, I'm kidding, this might be big someday?
Oh, I have a friend who's a pickleball guy, and I want to be.
Need that
I'll trade
card.
you 2 pickleball cards for your ultimate frisbee rookie card. I've never heard of this from
Come
the 209. I've got an Upper Deck Gerald Wallace rookie jersey card with an LA Kings logo on the front. Got to be worth something more than face value. LOL.
Okay, LOL is correct. I feel like somebody just kind of Frankensteined a card for you, and you think it's real. It's like take the Wayne Gretzky part, cut his jersey out, then put Gerald Wallace's head on it, and then I don't think that's a real card. I mean, why would that even go together?
Somebody made a mistake. The Kings, they put the wrong logo on. I don't know.
I need to see a picture of that.
Yeah. Send the picture.
Yeah, I need to
Send the
see that.
picture.
All
There
right.
was a question that came in the chat by Raider Ted. He asked what a Bernie Williams rookie card to go for. Bernie Williams rookie card was in 1990. Great player, unfortunately not in the Hall of Fame. Heck of a musician too,
Really
by the
good
way.
guitarist,
Yeah, really,
yes.
really good musician and one of the Yankees' greatest players. But he just never got the Hall of Fame love like he should have. That card is roughly between $1 and $3. Nothing crazy.
See, that's the thing, and I understand it, but on some level, part of me goes, "That's wrong. It's Bernie freaking Williams." You know,
Yeah.
That's just the reality.
For a lot of years, I represented Roger Craig in the autograph game, and for about 6 years.
Football, or seriously, the baseball or the football?
A footballer.
Okay.
Roger Craig.
Yeah.
And every year,
Should be in
I'm
the
wondering,
Hall of
like,
Fame.
why is this guy not in the Hall of Fame? And I thought, I was going to represent him in a way where we are going to get to the Hall of Fame, and it just never happened, and it still hasn't happened. So there's always those ones that are head scratchers as to why they're not in. And that's why I'm really excited to see this new class coming in for Hall of Fame, because you got some names in there, and you got some borderline, like, are they going to get in for sure or
Yes.
not? Like Eli. Should Eli get in? He was
Yes.
only a 4-time Pro Bowler.
He's in.
He's only a 4-time Pro Bowler.
He's played in New York, and he won 2 Super Bowls.
Okay, and then like Raider
I'm
Ted-
just saying, I think he will.
Raider
on-
Ted in here saying Plunkett should be in, and I think Plunkett should be in. I would be in agreement with him, but that guy's not going to get in, and he's not even in consideration
agree
for.
with both of you on both. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not even in consideration of Veterans Committee.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. Terrell
What
Suggs,
about Donovan McNabb?
great player. I don't think he'll ever get the recognition. I don't think he's going to get in. So look at some of these guys. Torrey Holt. You got Isaac Bruce in, but you don't have Torrey Holt in, but he was the better of the 2 players.
I think he'll get in though. I think it was just kind of a long line waiting.
It's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
That when you have people that are sitting there waiting to get into the Hall of Fame, and I mean, I can't tell you how many times I watched Drew Pearson hit his. Was it Drew Pearson?
Yeah, just got in.
Crying every time that he was upset every year when they passed up on him. It's heartbreaking to see guys
Mhm.
not be able to see themselves go in
Mhm.
while they're still
Mhm.
alive.
So we got to take time out. Are you off to wrestling now?
I can stick around or I can
Yeah.
leave.
All
Either
right,
one's fine by me.
that's your call.
I'm calling an Uber.
That's your call.
It's
Smart.
your call.
I'll stick
Smart.
around one more if that's okay
Yeah.
with you guys.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to take a look at the massive deal that Philly gave Joel Embiid. Is that smart, given the state of his legs? Huh? Does it make sense? Emron, sticking around too. It's the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Temperatures dropping into the upper 50s in the valley tonight. Light north breeze on Saturday and lots of sunshine. Highs will be in the low 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
DC here, and if you've been thinking about a new car, you gotta see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia. You can always count on low payments and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
It's not hard to be a mom. It's hard to be a good mom. It's easy to be a bad mom. That's so easy. But to be a good mom is hard. To be a bad mom, that's as easy as being a great dad. That's...
Nikki Glazer, Alive and Unwell Tour. Friday, September 20th. The venue at Thunder Valley. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. She's alive and unwell. Don't miss Nikki Glazer.
As a mom, I'd do anything to keep my child out of physical pain.
Dr. Pamela Maida is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon.
As a doctor, I know that growth spurts can cause pain in my child's feet, and that can affect their legs and back too.
Good Feet Youth Arch supports are designed to alleviate, even eliminate common pain.
And investing in youth arch supports for your child or teen is one of the best decisions you can make.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
The NBA app is everyone's app. Every fan of every team.
Oh my goodness.
Everyone who follows LeBron, Tatum, and Embiid in the app. Every warrior who's ready to go to battle over three-point percentages. Every streetwear king who's here for the tunnel fits. Every young buck, nugget, and grizzly who wants to take a peek behind the scenes of the league. And everyone else on this floating basketball we call Earth. Download the NBA app today. Available in the Google Play, Apple app, and Android stores.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
When it comes to fighting for families and protecting kids, no one works harder than our Assemblyman, Josh Hoover. A member of the Bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus, Hoover has worked across party lines and proposed tougher penalties for fentanyl crimes, stricter sentences for drug trafficking near schools, and RILA's law to make sure anyone who abuses a child is held accountable. A former school board member, Josh has fought to support school police officers, prohibit homeless encampments near schools, and increase funding for school facilities. Josh Hoover knows that families have been paying more for everything from gas and groceries to utilities and insurance. In the Assembly, Josh is working to provide relief to families, reduce the cost of housing, and stop Gavin Newsom from raising gas prices even more next year. Josh Hoover is making a difference for our families, our community, and our future. Our voice, our Assemblyman, Josh Hoover.
Paid for by Hoover for Assembly 2024.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Hall of Fame nominees, talking about card values with, of course, Emerald Pilati, he's going to wrestling tonight by himself.
I don't feel bad about me. I don't feel bad for myself.
Good.
I'm proud of myself.
Good. Good for you.
When you have confidence to sit by yourself. Hey, and I have signs. I made signs.
Nah, stop it.
For real.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I'm here by myself. That's what it says.
Oh, you're definitely getting on.
I'm the one by myself is what it says on the.
Raider Ted, anyway, is going on, and I understand him about Jim Plunkett not being in the Hall of Fame. And he's, there's still this perception of this anti-Raider bias. To me, I don't understand if you look at Jim Plunkett, his career numbers, they don't pop, but he won 2 Super Bowls. He was the winning quarterback on 2 Super Bowl teams. 2. To me, that's.
I'm trying to think who else won 2 Super Bowls that, wasn't looked at in the same fashion. Well, like Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, of course, especially if they were MVPs, they should get some consideration, right? Like a Mark Rippon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being sarcastic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that with what Plunkett did over the course of his career, he should be at least in the conversation, and he just hasn't been.
Yeah.
And as Raider Ted said in there, it's sad that Stabler had passed away before he ever saw Hall of Fame, which he got in, I think, in 2017 is when he got in.
He was a little bit ahead of his time to me because he put up like the big completion percentages before they changed the rules.
And one of the great personalities. I think the 70s just didn't get the credit that they needed. I've been able to meet and become friendly with a guy by the name of Harold Jackson. And Harold Jackson was an all-decade team player. He actually has the most receptions in the 1970s decade.
Eagles and Rams.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he had the most reception. Wonderful man. He lives in Southern California.
He was fast.
Yeah. But when you look at the total number of receptions, it's almost nothing compared to what it is today.
Yeah.
When you had Herman Moore and those guys that were catching 120 balls, Wes Welker at 130 catches per season. I mean, I think he had like 700 catches. Him being Harold Jackson had 700 catches in an entire decade, and he was the leader.
Yeah.
So the passing game just wasn't what it was. So the Stablers of the world really didn't get the recognition that they deserve for what they were doing during that era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, make sure you, if you haven't already, go to Imran's shop, True Sports Cards, and make sure you listen to True Sports Card Show on Saturdays.
Guess what? I'm gonna be alone tomorrow.
I had to come in with you, man.
Yeah,
that would be great. That would be great if somebody could just hold me while I'm doing my show. That'd be great. And then Silva's got to put in the little thing there. This is why Imran's alone.
Yeah. Imran and Jay, what do you guys think of the new deal for Joel Embiid, 3 years, $192.9 million extension with Philly, so that guarantees him $299.5 million through 2029.
Seems reasonable.
Bad wheels.
Well, I just think that if it hit 300 million, it would have been a problem. But 292 is just fine.
Like, okay, you're under budget.
We knew that the way that the salaries were coming down the line, we knew that we were going to see $65-70 million contracts coming down the line. We saw it a few
$100
years.
million a year eventually.
Well,
before too long.
Look at what they're making versus what soccer makes. They're still short of soccer. You've got players in soccer making 100 to 120 million a year.
Yeah.
Right. So they're still falling short of that. Now soccer makes more money, but what would you say is the second biggest global sport behind soccer?
Pickleball.
Third. Okay. Behind that, NBA.
Oh,
right. Especially with the pickleball, the demand for pickleball. But the NBA is literally the second largest sport in the world, in basketball, I should say. And so, of course, the salaries are going to match that type of stuff or get close to it. So you can't really. It's a lot of money, but in relative speaking to what it brings into the table, I mean, if Embiid's making $300 million over 5 years, what does the ownership make?
No, I agree with that. I was kind of trying to, stir it up a little bit.
It didn't work.
But I agree with you, and especially if you're Philly right now and you have a chance with the players you have, Paul George, and you have Embiid, and it's like, he's phenomenal right now. He may not be very good in a couple of years, but you have him now, and this is what it costs to be as relevant as you can be and maybe even compete for a title right now.
This is their last chance.
Cost.
Yeah, and the thing about it,
pay it.
The thing about it too, if Kawhi did not hit that shot, that bounce around shot, right? The one they hit the rim 45 times before it went in, right, in Toronto, I think the Sixers would have won that year. They were the better team. It could have very easily. It's a lot like the Kings when the Lakers went through based on lots of different reasons. The Kings would have smoked the Pacers, right? Embiid was on the track to win the championship.
I think they
that
would have
year.
played the Nets that year.
Nets. I apologize.
Yeah.
Nets. Yeah,
Well,
the
good.
Nets. I apologize.
Yeah.
Kerry Kittles.
Yes. Is it Kerry Kittles that was on that year?
He's Van Horn.
Yeah. So I just think that this is their window. It's closing quickly. And Embiid probably has another 2 years of elite. But you're right. His legs.
You look at his games played, I don't think he's ever played 70 games. But again, Jay, that's what he costs. If you want Joel Embiid right now, it's like, this is what you have to pay. Is it a problem down the road? Maybe, but you have to pay it to be as good as you could be right
fair
now.
market value.
Here's the other thing, too. We always talk about the fragility of these players. Oh, AD is always hurt. Embiid's always hurt. You look at it on TV and you're like, why is this guy flopping around? He's right. I was fortunate enough to be able to sit courtside thanks to the team here at Sactown Sports. Okay. So we sat courtside baseline and we got to see Kings versus.
Were you there by yourself?
I was there. I felt alone because the people I brought didn't want to talk to me.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sitting there and I'm watching, and it's Pelicans versus Kings. And
that was a bad game. They lost.
Yeah, it was during the play-in tournament. They always lose. You could just pick any of the Pelicans games the Kings lost. But
I did.
But it was the play-in game, and I'm watching underneath the basket, and Zion's playing. And this guy is massive, unbelievably massive. When you're up close to him, you're like, how does a human move that quickly and is that big? And Embiid's even bigger, right? And these guys, when they fall, it's a hard fall. So, and imagine somebody landing on top of them. I know Embiid's legs got hurt when the other player fell on top of his legs and he was in pain. So these are big trees that are falling, and you wonder, like, how healthy can they stay when they're playing
first 2 years, right? When he was hurt,
with
when
his
he
foot.
came into the league.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
So,
and they already have circulation issues when you're 7 foot tall. You got one heart trying to beat blood to the rest of your body. It's a little tough. So, it's always a risk, but at this point, why wouldn't you pay somebody to be a cornerstone of your franchise that's willing to be there?
I think people are going to look at whatever Brock Purdy gets. Some people say, "Oh, it's way too much for him." It'll be he's going to
be close to 50.
Yeah,
he's going to be 45, 40 million.
He'll be close to 60.
You think so?
Some people do. I don't know. 55, it'd be. I wouldn't be surprised if he's at 55.
I think he's a top 7 salary earner in the position. I don't think he's any higher than that. Maybe 7 or 6, maybe. But he's not going to approach Dak Prescott numbers.
How much you giving Brock next year, Jay?
I'm with you. I'm 50. He's going to be around the 50. He doesn't touch 60 for me. I think he's 50 to 55, somewhere around there.
Yeah. I think his agent could make the case.
Oh, of course he
especially
is.
if they have a great year. Who knows? They win a Super Bowl or something. Hey, Dak Prescott's never won a Super Bowl. My guy just won your Super Bowl. 60. We'll see.
Better believe it.
Yeah, and then if they are ridiculous with their demands, Sam Darnold's waiting in the wings, baby. I'll come back for 30.
I need 60, and I need one of those pickleball hobby boxes.
The league
non-negotiable.
You know what?
Deal breaker.
You know what? Never mind the money. 3 pickleball boxes.
Everyone have
so
fun
relief,
at,
man.
At wrestling.
It's going to be. Here's the saddest part that's about to happen with this segment. Okay, I'm going to call it Uber. It's going to take a long time to get here, and I'm going to be on the YouTube channel, sitting here waiting while you're continuing the show.
Need a little graphic. Everyone's still waiting for a ride.
And I'm sitting here like, I can still talk, and you're like, we're good, and I'm just sitting here in front of the microphone with the mic off.
In the green room. Yeah.
Can somebody walk this guy out to the parking lot? So thanks for letting me come on. It's been a few weeks, and
hang around. Yeah,
it's been a blast. Yeah,
I might make an appearance on the True Sports card tomorrow.
Who will?
Yeah.
You?
Yes.
I won't be by myself.
Yeah, I might be able to make it.
Listen to this. I'll leave with this. Jessica, just bring Beckett in. We'll go from here to your friend's birthday party that you want to go to. No. I said, I have to drive all the way back to Roseville and come get you to go back. She goes, I don't care. I'm not going to the radio station with you. Again, I am the loneliest loner that you've ever seen.
That's not true.
One single tear just falling down.
I'll have to play One Is the Loneliest Number for you.
It's coming.
Flashback Friday.
It's coming.
Yeah, but there's nobody to press the button except for me.
Tell you why 149er says the injury situation, a blessing in disguise. What? That's next. We'll be back. I don't know if Emron will be, but we'll be back to Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
I had been starting to be sick all the time at work, so I went to the doctor. He asked if people in the office smoked. He identified it as being exposed to secondhand smoke. I decided to sue. It was worth it in the end, California being the first state to be smoke-free in workplaces and restaurants in the country.
Andrea was part of a historic movement to ban smoking in the workplace.
Learn how she and other Californians are fighting big tobacco at undo.org. Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
High voltage live boxing action returns to Northern California Saturday, September 21st at the venue at Thunder Valley with Thunder Showdown, featuring the undefeated 12th ranked welterweight in the world, Amari Jones, plus Alan Sanchez versus Sal Briseno, and 8 more exciting undercard fights with Maribel Guerrero, Blake McKernan, Gabriel Garcia, Anthony Hernandez, Ruben Torres, Alexander Espinoza, and more. Don't miss the Thunder Showdown, September 21st at Thunder Valley. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Fight card subject to change.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, get ready. Here comes your Sactown Sports live events calendar. You don't want to miss Winona Judd at Hard Rock Live on September 28th. And on October 4th, comedy legend Rob Schneider is bringing the laughs to Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Space out with Weezer for the Voyage to the Blue Planet Tour 2024 at the Golden One Center on October 8th. And looking further ahead into October, Alec Benjamin brings his soulful vibes to Hard Rock Live Sacramento on the 16th. Then on October 17th, catch the hilarious Ronnie Chang at the Bob Hope Memorial Theater in Stockton. On October 20th, Renee Vaca brings his hilarious stand-up to the Crest Theater in Sacramento. And finally, gear up for the ultimate Halloween bash with a $5,000 costume contest. It's Sinners and Saints Saturday at Thunder Valley on October 26th. Costumes, music, and plenty of thrills. Get all the event details at SactownSports.com and stay locked on to Sactown Sports for your chance to win tickets.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Yeah, Jay and Whitey taking you into your weekend here. That's for Emmerich, who's on his way to wrestling by himself. I think we could be proud of Emmerich, can't we? He's got the confidence to go out to wrestling by himself. Good for him. Yeah. We've got some confidence that the 49ers, despite all of the injury issues, they still have the wherewithal, I think, Jay, to dominate, not just be, but dominate the Rams.
Of course.
I get a little carried away there.
Well, yeah, you might be
dominate
more
the
than
Rams.
dominate. Yeah, dominate is different. Yeah.
The weakened Rams.
Well, yeah, they are baby Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's still a bad matchup, even though the 49ers don't have this guy. They don't have Kittle, probably.
What's a kid? Is that a baby goat?
I think
Kid,
so.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's still a bad matchup for the Rams because their offensive line is not even in tatters. It's like they barely have one. And so with the 49ers pass rush, even though Bosa had a rib thing today, that still should be, that's where the game tilts heavily in the 49ers' favor. And from there, they should be able to win handily, even though they're shorthanded. That's how rough things are for the Rams right now.
Yeah, very true. I think the 49ers have the type of talent that should still be able to go in there, and type of team as well to slide down to Levi South and get the victory. I will say, just on paper, the Rams look highly overmatched. We had Greg Beacham on for the AP, who covers the Rams, among other things, as he talked about Shohei Ohtani 50-50 was in the building last night. But I just think the Rams are just so banged up. And even if they were a little stronger, I'd still almost go with the 49ers just because they have a better squad, and it's not like the 49ers have, everybody out. Like the Rams feel like they're literally missing half their starting lineup. And, if you put them all together, mash them up. And so, yeah, the 49ers have no business losing to the Rams this weekend.
Yeah, Matt Stafford is without his offensive line for the most part, and he's also without his top 3 receivers. So, yeah, the 49ers are going to miss Debo and CMC, but the Rams are they barely have their squad. It's the NFL, though, Jay, any given Sunday, but
that is true.
I've been wrong so often this year, but I just can't see it. I mean, I guess it's possible, but I can't see this being a situation where, well, it's a fourth quarter and the Rams are driving here and they can tie this game up. It's hard to imagine.
Yeah, but like you said, you never know. And you don't want to take it for granted. You don't want to, you don't want to act as if the 49ers walking in are already going to get the W. But, yeah, I'm with you. I think most people kind of follow the cab. I saw something. Let me see here. Who was what was the newspaper? Was it? And I just want to make sure. I think it was the Times and
it was the
LA Times.
Orlando Sun Sentinel.
Yeah,
right? Am I right?
Maybe. Oh. Yeah. LA Times, when we were talking to Greg Beecham, and it was saying just about everybody, national pundits, are picking the 49ers to beat the Rams, and the Rams are having no opportunity to get the victory. Yeah, I mean, on paper, yeah, they should.
A lot of 49er fans, and it was interesting. We talked to Greg Beecham about that. My question was, okay, look, the Rams have won a Super Bowl more recently than the 49ers. So why are there so many 49er fans down there in L.A.? He says when the Rams left in 94, they just basically alienated a lot of fans, and they're still, even though the Rams have been back in L.A. now for quite a while, they're still trying to build back that fan base down there.
Well, it's kind of, I said this a couple of days ago, White. It's, I spent 10, 11 years in Los Angeles, and that was probably that'd be from 2008 to 2017. Yeah. So it's interesting where it is a Raider town for sure. Like the Raiders, if anyone in LA, has a whole gumbo pot worth of people, and that's what Greg was talking about. You have a little bit of everybody from everywhere, but it's still a Raider town to me. That was the feel at the time. Now the Rams that came, Johnny come lately, and I think they're trying to get the next generation, which are, at that time and I just say next generation, 12 and under, which now are starting to get teens, young 20s, right? And so my point with that is you have to, I think that's where you pinpoint. If you're trying to go get someone who's already been established and already has roots in the ground, and unless there were, as Greg talked about, 49ers, you got Cowboys, you got so many different flavors of the month. But then the other thing with LA fans were the older generation were Ram fans, like 50, 60, 70-year-olds that I came across. They were Ram fans, and they're like, oh, thank the Lord, they're coming back. But beyond that demographic, it's just like, throw your hands in the air. So I think they need to do a better job of tackling the new generation.
The Rams defense played pretty well for the most part in the opener against the Lions until the overtime, and the Lions just ran the ball down their throat. The Rams, even when healthy, they have a very young defense, and they're a little short-handed now. So my question, Jay, if you're running the 49ers offense, Kyle Shanahan calls you up, says, Jay, I know I'm supposed to be a genius and everything. I don't know what to do. What's your approach? How are you changing things up because of injury? What's your approach this week if you're the 49ers against the hobbled Rams?
I think you do the same thing. I might run the ball a little more, test that depth. But for me, I'm probably pushing the line and just, putting the ball in Jordan Mason's hands a little more. I'm looking for Brock to kind of toss the rock for around 200, 250. And if I'm there, I think I'm good. I'm going to let my defense do the job this week, and hopefully they can stand up and do that.
Yeah, they should be able to give the offense really good field position. Just the basic laws of football seem to dictate the 49ers should easily win this game, even though they're banged up. I keep saying that. I'm missing something. That's just the way it is, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping.
How are the Rams even going to approach this game offensively? We're going to run a screen pass every play.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. I'm not sure. I think they should get the W.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
Simple.
What else about this upcoming weekend with the National Football League? I know somebody here on the text line is predicting, I think it was Trey predicting a big upset with the Carolina Panthers knocking off the Raiders. I think we pretty much decided that wasn't going to happen either, right?
Yeah, I'm going with the Raiders. I'm running with that defense over Carolina's offense, and I know Andy Dalton stepping in for Bryce Young, but I'll take the Raiders over the Panthers. Give me that. I'll take that. I think they take care of business. And for all Raider fans who are out there, these are the games that the Raiders normally drop or make closer than it needs to be. I think the Raiders got to come out here and really showcase their talents and just be like, hey, you know what? We are a better team this year, and we are vying for a playoff berth, and we're not losing or even playing around with the Panthers. If it's close, we might be looking at the same Raiders team that we've seen over the last, 10, 15, 20 years almost, going back to Big Lincoln Kennedy and Rich Gannon.
Yeah. I've been Rich Gannon, by the way, one of the candidates for the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. He had a great MVP year. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
No, he's not. He's not.
Here's my upset, Jay, my upset special.
Of the week?
Yes, been hunting for that upset. So forget the spread, although if the spread is narrow, it's not really much of an upset. But my upset special, Sunday Night Football. The high-flying Falcons are going to beat the Chiefs.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins and the Falcons.
I see you working,
They're going to
brother.
beat the Chiefs on Sunday night.
Wow.
Yeah.
I see you working, and that's in Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah.
You are correct.
Okay. I thought I saw that. Wow.
They're going to be buoyed by that big win over Philadelphia. The defense has played well.
Okay.
They played well enough, certainly, to win their opener. And I like the Falcons. The Chiefs, a little wobbly, right? 2-0, but kind of a soft 2-0, I'd say. Give them credit, but 2 wins where, wow, those were narrow wins. It's going to catch up to the Chiefs this week. The Atlanta Falcons are going to fly high over the Chiefs. That's my upset special of the week.
Let me take a look.
5.5, I think, is the spread.
5.5? What?
Last I saw. I could be wrong. I
Hold
thought
on.
that's where it was.
I see ESPN has it at 3. Let me.
3?
You looked at BetMGM, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, let me look at that because ESPN. I see the line says 3. But
Okay, but 3's still a legitimate upset.
of course, especially at home.
Mhm.
Yeah, hold on, real fast, because that's interesting. Especially if you got it at 5.5 now. That's
I could
big
have
time.
imagined that.
That's big time.
Mhm.
I'm sliding on down that way. Let's see. It opened at 4.5.
4.5. Okay.
Yeah, so right now it's at 3. BetMGM, ESPN, pretty much everybody's at 3. Yeah, they're at 3. I like it though.
You
I
got
like
anything?
where you're going.
You don't have to pick an upset.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm never running from it now.
I think you're going Giants over the Browns, aren't you?
At 6.5.
No, am I wrong?
No. You know where I'm going?
Let me guess. May I guess?
Absolutely. One jumped off the board for me when I looked at it earlier today, looking at picks, and I think
you're going Cardinals over the Lions.
Ooh, that's a good one. That is a good one. I'm not going there.
Okay.
I'm not going
I don't
there.
think that's going to happen, but that was my guess for you. What do you got?
I'm going Tennessee Titans.
Ooh.
They get the W over
Pack.
Green Bay Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at Tennessee, I'm hoping Will Levis week 1 stand-up shows up minus the last couple of picks, and Tennessee, shows up week 1 minus the last, quarter or so against the Bears. Yeah, I'm going Tennessee over Green Bay.
What's the spread? Do you have
3.
it there? Okay.
3.
I think if we were picking this week, which we're not because Drapes isn't here, if we were picking this week with the spread, I think I'd take the Titans. But you're going the outright win, huh?
Yeah, the upset.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm taking the upset on that.
You can run the ball against the Pack.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Pollard can run the ball, tote the rock.
Tote the rock. What about this one? The Saints giving up 2.5 against Philadelphia.
Saints are going to destroy the Eagles.
Drape, that would be Drape's upset special, right?
Right.
He'd have to ride that out.
The Saints are playing so well.
You think they're going to destroy them?
I think they're capable of it because their offense is functioning at such a high level with Clint Kubiak. And then the Eagles defense right now, I'm a Fangio guy. He's looking for answers.
Let's destroy them.
No pass rush.
Let's destroy them.
Well, they've been destroying everybody. So, I don't know, 31-17.
Okay. I like that. That's going out on a limb
I know
here,
I'm
sir.
falling into that NFL trap where you see a team, they played well one week, They played well the next week. They're going to play well again. In the NFL, it's like, no, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You're up, you're down. But right now, the way the Eagles, again, zero pass rush. Derek Carr is flourishing in this offense. The Saints are home, and they're playing well. I love the Saints in that game.
it.
You're not with me?
No, I'm with you. I think they win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure of destroy, but I think they get, beat them by 7 or so.
I said 31-17. I want to amend that.
Okay.
34-17. Okay.
Put the extras on it.
34-17.
Put the extras on it, brother.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Can we go to Travis here? Sactown Sports. Hey, Travis, what's going on?
How's it going, Whitey? How's it going today?
Good. What can we do for you?
Yeah, I guess I missed Emron, but I really had something to talk to him about. I got an autographed photo of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant.
Really?
Yeah, it's an All-Star game picture back in 2003 at the All-Star game.
Uh-huh.
I took the picture to celebrity golf tournament when Michael used to go out there in Tahoe, and he actually autographed it. When he grabbed it, he looked at it and said, "Oh, Kobe," and he signed it. And then about a few years later, my son was trying out for the basketball team for high school. He got cut his freshman, and the next year, in some other camps, to see if he can make the team all year. Put him in the Kobe Bryant camp in Santa Barbara, and when you go there, you get a free autograph from Kobe. You get a picture with him and everything. It's like a whole week camp. But anyways, one of the guys told me that he wouldn't sign it because he's wearing a number 8 jersey. So we went to a thrift store, and we ended up buying a basketball for him. I told him to take that in and go ahead. He doesn't sign the picture, get the ball autographed. Well, he came out of the signing, and he's dribbling the basketball. And I was like, "Don't dribble the ball." And he showed me the picture. And he's got, Jordan and Kobe's autograph on the same picture, man.
That's amazing, Travis. We're at a little bit of an issue. You were cutting out a little bit, so thank you. We'll let you go here, but thank you. So, yeah, you definitely want to check with Emron on that. Although, Jay and I right now will give you $25 for it, right, Jay?
Yeah, I'll match that 25.
Yeah.
So that's 50.
50?
Yeah.
That's a little rich for my blood. But there you go. That's our offer. 2003, Michael. So that would be Wizards?
Ooh.
Wow. That's a nice piece. You'd probably have to have it authenticated, blah, blah, blah. But good for you, Troy. Do you want to sell it, though? Or that's something you probably don't want to sell. You just like to know what it's worth? Maybe?
Well, it just depends on what that value is. Now, I think Michael Jordan and Kobe autographs are through the roof right now.
I would think.
Yeah. So it just depends. That's a question definitely for Emron. Maybe call back tomorrow, Travis, 10 o'clock.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like I say, you can take our offer. $50.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's up to you. Cash. Right.
Straight up.
I'll drive to your house and get it.
Yes, sir.
Bring you the money.
Right now.
Yeah. Raider Red joins us on Sactown Sports. Hello, Raider Red.
Raider Ted.
Oh, Ted. That's me. My fault.
Raider Ted.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah, that's on me.
No, that's on me. That's on me.
Okay.
I'll fill in for Drapes if you need another guy to go over these picks.
Why, you don't like our picks? Oh, you just want to pick? Yeah.
No, I'm laughing. I'm laughing because two of your upsets that, and again, I called to talk about the Raiders, but I got tied into what you were talking about.
Yeah.
You're saying Atlanta's going to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of that.
Uh-huh.
But if you think that Kirk Cousins is going to back up what he just did with a win over a great defensive team, man, that's a big ask.
Mm-hmm.
Because he, as is Derek Carr, are known to have great runs of like 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 games, and then they completely fall on their face. And I know that well. 9 years with Carr. He had 2016 where he was unstoppable, running the run and shoot, and then he snapped his ankle with 2 games to go in a meaningless game, and it cost him his confidence and everything that we ever believed he could be. But
here's the thing, Raider Ted. Here's to your point. Here's the thing, and I understand your point, but Cousins didn't have a great game last week. He had a great final drive, so it's not like he had a great game. And I'm really thinking they can run the ball on the Chiefs more. And Atlanta's defended at at a very high level. That's more what I'm banking that on. But I understand your point.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't want to dominate. I called really to talk about something, and I don't want to get in an afternoon show versus morning show. Start a big thing.
Oh, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Carmichael Dave this morning, before they went off the air at 10, was saying that the ratings for the Raiders are bad, and that's why they're getting blacked out. And I'm like, you're crazy. I was on the text line, and I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm born and raised here. I've been a Raiders fan since 74. I watched Kenny Stabler play. I won't go into all the details, but I'm a lifelong fan. There's a lot of Raider fans here. There's a lot of Raider fans in LA. They were only there for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of Raider fans everywhere. They are put on here because they were in Oakland, and it was the market, just like the Niners market. And, I've suffered all these years with Niner friends, dominating, the B when the B was putting all Niner coverage, and the Raiders are being a tiny little corner saying, "Hey, Raiders won." And I've been dealing with that my whole life. But you know what? So it makes me salty. But the bottom line is, I don't believe that it's a ratings issue as to why they would ever. Number one, they never put the NFC on CBS unless it's like playoff time and they're moving stuff around. Week 2, they're going to black us out for the Vikings versus the Niners on CBS when they should be on Fox. What are you doing? People want to see the Raiders play. Bank it.
Got you,
That's
Ted.
all I'm saying.
All right,
It's
thank you,
Raiders,
Ted.
It's a market.
Appreciate that. And I apologize for calling you Raider Red, and that's not on you, Jay. That's on me.
No, that's on me. I put that up there.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's on you
I'm working with the fractured finger. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. So thank you, Raider Ted. Raider Ted's not buying my Falcons over the Chiefs.
That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. That's hence why that's your pick. It's your pick.
He's not a believer in Kirk Cousins.
No problem.
I don't want to be, but he swayed me Monday night. Don't you just feel like the Chiefs are a little vulnerable right now?
Here we go. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're talking to a 49ers fan, but they've shown me that they're not. But yes, I would like to say yes. I'm not a believer in Kirk Cousins either. So, I tend to feel that way, but I get what I know what you are picking up, because he had a fantastic game-winning drive.
Yeah.
And it's not Minnesota. It's not Washington. This is Atlanta, different place to be. So maybe he's feeling good, early in the season. I can understand where you're going.
And he's the king of primetime now. He used to lose all the time. He couldn't win. Now he's the king of primetime.
And the Falcons have a good defensive line.
Yes,
and I think that's something you talked about.
Yeah.
I've been trying to find this Raiders location blackout situation.
Yeah, I didn't comment on what Ted said because I don't know the answer.
Yeah, and I don't have the full-on answer. I don't know where CD is coming from. I do know this. This is the truth. The Raiders pulled out of Northern California as one of their local markets. They had deemed that Northern California no longer is a local market for them. Their first market, obviously, is Las Vegas. Their secondary market, and I know this because we used to carry the Raiders on this station, Compass Media, and talking to our bosses at the time, they've pulled out and made their secondary market Utah. So
really,
yeah, it's not even LA, it's Utah. And the Rams fought the Raiders. The Chargers fought the Raiders about the LA area, San Diego area, all that jazz. And even at one point, the Raiders were trying to get into like the Fresno, Bakersfield markets as well. And, a hosh-posh of the Rams and the 49ers and, however it worked, they fought that. So the third market for the Raiders is some form of Southern Colorado, because Denver fought, Denver has a huge geofence if you really go look at the map. And I know that because I was privy to those conversations here at this station. I don't know why it's blacked out in this area. And we know it used to be because you had to have 85% of tickets sold and blacked out and all that, but they're no longer a local team anymore.
I see.
So I'm not sure. I have no clue.
So it's nothing to do with ratings.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Dave is correct on that. I didn't listen to the morning show. I don't know where he's getting that information, so can't really speak on it.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Raider Ted, for being with us today. When we come back, P-Bev identifies the Kings X Factor next on Sactown Sports.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Sacramento, Dierks Bentley's coming to town. Getting drunk on a plane. For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends. Parmalee. Tyler Rich. Dasha. And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
Deftones. North American Tour 2025. Live in Sacramento. Golden One Center. Saturday, March 1st. With special guests, the Mars Volta and Fleshwater. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. For more, visit Deftones.com.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Temperatures dropping into the upper 50s in the valley tonight. Light north breeze on Saturday and lots of sunshine. Highs will be in the low 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
At Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. Whether you purchase a new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, Elk Grove Honda has the right Honda at the right price. In the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Hello, I'm Frank Cockrell with the Retirement Security Center for the weekly economic update. The long-awaited rate cut cycle has begun as the Federal Reserve cut rates by 0.5% on Wednesday. The decision for the larger rate cut was due to some concerns over the labor market and the belief that the journey towards the target inflation rate of 2% is in sight. What is next for stock market investors? The S&P 500 surged more than 21% when the rate-cutting cycle began in 1995, while it fell more than 10% in 2001 after the dot-com bubble burst. The market went down in 2007 when rates were cut, but increased in 2019. So the answer to what's next may be in the why, as in why did the Fed cut rates? If the Fed eases rates due to recession fears versus an effort to get interest rates closer to a base rate, you could see market reductions. When you see earnings growth in concert with rate cuts, that could be a positive for disciplined investors. Expectations of earnings growth in 2024 are 15%, higher than the 12.8% expectation at the beginning of the year. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic FA Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Osaic FA is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic FA.
For most of the people that walk in our store, it's been an ongoing, non-stop issue, and they're finally walking into the Good Feet store. Okay, the guy that came into my store last year that has had plantar fasciitis for 30 years. I looked at him, I said, "Are you kidding me? I've been here for 14. Where have you been?" I helped relieve a problem that's plagued him for 30 years. I mean, how do you not go home and talk about that?
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Even in a broken Washington, one person delivers results. Our Congressman Kevin Kiley. Working across party lines, Kevin Kiley has helped pass bipartisan bills to lower prices for gas, groceries, and utilities, provide tax relief for the victims of recent wildfires and storms, and to protect Lake Tahoe today and for future generations. Kiley has secured millions of federal dollars to ease traffic on our roads, expand our water supply, and protect our homes and communities from wildfires. And because he believes public safety comes first, Kevin Kiley is working to crack down on repeat offenders, retail thieves, and fentanyl dealers who prey on our youth. Kevin Kiley is always ready to work across party lines to get things done, and never afraid to take on the establishment in Washington or Sacramento when that's what's needed to protect our quality of life. Delivering results. That's Kevin Kiley. Let's keep him working for us.
I'm Kevin Kiley, and I approve this message. Paid for by Kevin Kiley for Congress.
Don't wake me, I'm
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916. Sactown Sports.
Got that lonely feeling, Jay. Here I am predicting that the Falcons will rise up and upset the Chiefs. There's a lot of people on the text line and in the chateau saying, nope, that's not going to happen, Whitey. You're wrong. So it's kind of lonely, but that's all right. You know, if you're really picking a bold upset, there's not going to be a lot of people that are with you. Otherwise, it wouldn't be an upset. We have this from Trey on the text line. It says, remember, one thing about the Raiders, they win the games that they aren't supposed to and lose the games that they aren't supposed to. That's a hot take, Whitey, says Trey. Thank you, Trey. Then we also have this. Jay, I don't know if we have time to read this. I've never written in before, but it would be awesome if you guys could read this before the end of the show. Thank you, Drive Guys. I don't think we have time to read that, do we?
Maybe not.
Maybe later we get to that. So, yeah.
I got a text. I reached out to one of my connects over at Fox to ask him about the Raider situation, and we don't have time to read everything that he sent, but he sent the link over, and it's from the NFL, and I guess this conversation popped up this past couple weeks ago in Los Angeles about the Raiders being blacked out in Los Angeles
when they played the Chargers.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure. I just see the date on it, and he was like, hey, listen, this is some of the things we've been getting from fans. And so we, took it up the ringer to the NFL, and there's like a 5 or 6 point engagement of the reasons why. I'm trying to keep it super simple. Team location. The Raiders located in Las Vegas in 2020. As a result, their games are primarily broadcast in Vegas and surrounding areas, including their own second, third, and fourth, secondary, third, markets.
But bottom line, it sounds like it's not about ratings; it's about territorial issues. Priority of home markets, distance of locations. Number 2 is NFL broadcasting rules. 3 is competition with other teams. So this one says, kind of what I was talking about. LA has multiple NFL teams, the Rams, Chargers, which can dilute the broadcast market. Networks might prioritize showing games for these local teams over the Raiders. Streaming and subscription services, we know about the NFL ticket, and then fan engagement, which is a little interesting because that may be barking up the ratings. It says the Raiders have a passion for fan base, but their historical connection to LA is complicated. While many fans remain loyal, some may choose to support local teams or have shifted their focus to the Raiders' current location. And then it goes on to say, all these different aspects play a part in it. I guess ratings could fall into the number 5 or 6 or whatever that was. I think that was number 6 because I skipped a few other ones. So that's interesting. That's very interesting. And then, like I said, with the knowledge that I know, the first couple years in Vegas, as of that'd be 2020, so 2022, they pulled out of this market as their second and third market. Is that why, Jay, Channel 3, I believe for years, they showed Raider preseason games.
Yes, they did. Then the Chargers.
Yeah.
Yes.
And is that a territorial thing? Because I remember when I see that this year, and I think maybe a couple years, like, what?
Yep. The last couple, that's part of it, is the last couple of years, teams can, and of course, I used Denver as one. There's not a lot of teams around Denver.
Right.
So again, their geofence is huge. They're in Wyoming and Nebraska. They push the line where, LA teams are fighting for the smallest crumb. San Francisco now, they've pushed down to SoCal up until, Fresno, because I've heard you can listen to 49er games in Fresno. Mm-hmm. But that's part of it is, and that's the Chargers saying, no, we want that area as our, not secondary, because San Diego is their secondary, so but we want them as our third. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. And that was part of the reason, being privy to those conversations, they were like, yeah, the Chargers now hold more weight because they're in this state.
So that's not like Channel 3 going, we'd rather have the Chargers than the Raiders.
No, that's an NFL thing.
Yeah,
and that's a Chargers saying, no, we want that market. We have fans more up that way. Yeah, that I do know.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. We mentioned Patrick Beverley, the Pat Bev podcast. On the Pat Bev podcast, he was talking about the Kings. Here's Patrick Beverley explaining who he thinks will be the Kings' X Factor this year.
Kevin Huerter was my first choice as X Factor if it was the X Factor for Sacramento Kings. You know what you go get from the Fox. You know what you go get from Sabonis. You know what you go get from DeMar DeRozan, even if he ain't even put on a Sacramento jersey yet. Kevin Huerter, that's the X Factor for them. Why? That's it. Because he's the one person who can put the ball on the floor, that can create and that can shoot a three. You feel me? But he gotta let his BA double LS. He gotta let him hang a little bit. You gotta shoot some shots that in training camp, some of them 4-point shots and miss and run back like that's my shot. Like he's the X Factor for that Sacramento team.
So Kevin Huerter is the X Factor for the Kings. What do you think of that breakdown? Yeah, Kevin.
I love how he says it.
The first time I thought, okay, he made a mistake. But
he
doubled down on Kevin Huerter.
Shut out Pat Bev, man.
That's gangsta.
Pat Bev has got to be a fan of the Kings because he talks about the Kings quite a bit on his podcast.
Yeah, he's probably fascinated about what's going on.
Yes. We need to sign him.
Like, that's how it is in Sac. It's lit.
Yes.
But you know that it's Sac.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Pat Bev rocks with the Kings.
Yeah, you're
How
right.
do we let Pat Bev get over to Italy or wherever he's at right now? Turkey.
You got Domantas Sabonis and Kevin Huerter.
Kevin Huerter.
But he's right. I think we've actually said that on the show, that
Yeah.
if you want to go down the whole X Factor road, Kevin Huerter is the guy. Because there's such a variance in what he could be. He could be, if he's like last year, poor guy got hurt and he didn't shoot very well. Or if he's like the Kevin Huerter of 2 years ago, look out. He's a weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. We were talking about the 8 that you would keep if expansion was to hit the NBA. You keep 8 guys for protected from being chosen or drafted. I don't know how they operated. They would do that now, but
Couple of years, they'll probably have to do that.
Kevin Huerter was your 8th pick, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're saying his value is at a low point right now, but if it, he gets back to where he was a couple years ago, who knows what his value could be. And I think that's what Pat Bev is pretty much saying too.
Yeah, because if his value goes up, he plays well. That's 2 things. One, it's like you have a really good player who can help you. And then 2, if you're in a position at the deadline where you do want to make a move, he's a movable piece who has some value potentially. So I'm with Patrick Beverley on that.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Who else is even potentially an X Factor? Trey Lyles? I don't know. I feel like most of the other guys, you pretty much know what you're going to get from them. You know what they are.
Yeah, I could see some people from the outside looking in, and we've seen some people, kind of question DeMar DeRozan come in here. Not so much as question DeMar as the player, but like, what are you going there for? Or how is that going to fit? How are you going to fit in? And DeMar himself has said, look, that feels like me and Domantas Sabonis been playing all our lives. After a couple of weeks of practice or a week of practice or something of that nature down in Los Angeles, I could see, and I think some people around the NBA, the national NBA pundits, are saying, how does DeMar fit in? Like, what role is he going to play on these Kings team where you have ball dominant De'Aaron and ball dominant Domantas Sabonis?
You know what I really need to find out? I don't know the answer, but you know how the Warriors, they've been for years since KD left, they've been looking for the next guy. Years ago, they were talking about maybe Embiid will be available. He hasn't. Maybe Ben Simmons will be available. And now it's like, you're lucky that didn't happen. Giannis this offseason. Paul George. They ran on Paul George. Didn't happen. Lowry Markkanen. I don't know. I know some fans were interested in DeRozan. I'm not sure if the Warriors had any interest in DeMar DeRozan. And given that they run a similar offense, look, I think it's great that the Kings got him. Don't get me wrong. I'm just curious if the Warriors had any interest in DeMar DeRozan. And if not, why not? You know, because every star who's available, the Warriors like, we got to get that guy. We got to get that guy. So I got to do some digging on that.
Well, do your thing, man. I would, for me, if it's not the X factor for me is not Kevin Huerter.
It's not
No, it's not. Yeah, it's Keegan Murray. I think that's the one. If you don't say Kevin Huerter, it's Keegan Murray.
Because you still think he has so much more ceiling?
Yes. And or no ceiling. He is what he's
already hit it.
Finished product.
That's
Yeah.
Ceiling.
Yeah, that's pretty close to the glass.
That's a good answer. I hadn't thought of that.
So I could see Keegan. If Keegan performs the same way he did last year.
He's the 89th best player in the NBA, according to CBS Sports.
The same one that didn't have Malik Monk on there. Right. So, take it for a grain of salt. But hey, let's just say Keegan Murray performs the exact same way last year he did today. I mean, this past year. What's your outlook on it?
That would probably be a little underwhelming. Like, I guess that's what he is. And we thought he could be better, and he's good, but he's probably not going to be what the Kings hoped he'd be when they drafted him.
Do you
agree with that?
I can't. Well, let me follow up before I give you my answer. Do you then say we're going to give him one more year? Or do you have to say he is what he is?
When do I have to give him the next deal?
Next year.
Yeah, I probably would give him one more year. But, it depends how it plays out. But I think it would be, I think you're right. If he has another year this year like last year, I think you know probably what he is. And that's a good, solid player, but not the really impactful player that you were hoping you got when you drafted him.
Yeah.
So that's what makes him the,
X factor, right?
X factor.
Yeah. Just like Kevin Huerter.
Yes.
We got a good couple drops today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with that.
I also think that with DeMar DeRozan here, I think there's a little bit of a X factor with Malik Monk in terms of how he's able to adjust.
And where he fits in too, right?
Yeah,
kind of where he
that's
fits
what
in.
I think.
Yeah, that could be true too. I could see that. Yeah, I think there are some questions coming into the season, and we'll be out on media day. You guys will have the opportunity to ask those questions here in a week or so, week and a half, or whatever it is. It's going to be interesting because I think the national pundits look at DeMar DeRozan being here in Sacramento as just a huge question from the jump. And then you start to, put a few things around the Sacramento Kings. Can it be better defensively? What's Keegan Murray going to come out and look like? What's up with Kevin Huerter? Is he fully healthy? We just heard him a couple weeks ago on somebody's podcast where he's like, yeah, I've been approved to, get out there, but physical.
You see the pictures too?
I have not. He's up there. He's putting them guns on.
Yeah, putting on some muscle.
Okay, well, that's good. That's a good thing. Don't let that, fool your stroke though.
Yeah,
don't let that fool your stroke.
All right.
Don't get your Mike Bibby on.
I don't know, Jay. I have a quiz. I'm not sure we'll be.
Why are you looking around the corner, man?
I was wondering who's back there.
Okay, you looking around the corner like, man, I guess the boogeyman or something around here, brother.
I'm looking for a potential opponent for you. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah.
Well, it better be callers. You better tell them call the line now.
All right. We'll tell you to call right now for this. You can relive the greatest music of the King of Pop, 13-piece live ensemble performing the most exciting and complete tribute to Michael Jackson only on Thunder Valley, only at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. All you have to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now. Looking for caller number. What do you think, Jay?
I'm going 2. Make it easy.
Caller number 2 to score that pair of tickets. Check out Rock with You at Thunder Valley Casino Resort.
Hey.
Yeah. For more information, that's coming up, by the way, Thursday, October 17th. For more information, visit SactownSports.com.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Well, you know what time it is. It's time for Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz for September the 20th. We have Jay, and it's so hard to find people now willing to take Jay on because he's just laying waste to his opponents, Jay. Or it's almost as if you're too dominant.
Hey, you know, I try around here these times. I try.
What you
I tied with the listeners last time, though, right?
Yeah, because we ran out of time.
Yeah.
And what you did to poor Brendan is just
Well,
almost unspeakable. Or what he did to himself.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you rocking Walter Dorsett's.
Walter
Yes.
Dorsett, Y.A. Tittis.
Can't wait for the basketball season to utilize those as some drops, too.
Yeah. So you're allowing, It's okay with you if people call in right now, 339-1140,
Absolutely.
1-800-920-1140, if they want to take you on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz. So we're starting with Campio?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Hello, Campio. How are you?
Hello, Whitey.
How's it going?
It's going good.
Good.
I do believe I beat JJ when I matched up with him last
You got
time.
that question? Oh, that chest puffing out. Okay.
All right, here we go. We have these are the years, Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz for September 20th, based on things that happen on this date or things related to things that happen on this date, September 20th. Who's going first here? Jay, you going first?
Oh, wait, man. This is our house, so we always allow the guests to put the feet up on the table.
Yeah, so what year do you want here? Campio, what year do you want? I have 1919. I have 1933. I have 1955. I have 1968, 1987, and 2013. Any of that sound good, Campy?
Let's go with 2013.
2013. This day, 2013. Who sets a new major league record with his 24th career Grand Slam? Is it Miguel Cabrera, Alex Rodriguez, or Albert Pujols?
That's A-Rod.
You're not looking this
He
up,
got
are you,
that
Campy?
right.
He's got that right.
right.
That's
I know that
right.
one.
Yes.
Yeah.
1-0 listeners. You want Campy to stick around?
Sure, if he wants to.
You want to play the whole game, Campio?
I don't want to beat him too bad, but yeah, I'll play.
Now he's got to stick around.
All right, he does have the 1-0 lead, Jay.
No problem.
1919, 1933, 1955, 1968, 1987.
Let's go 1919.
Let me just say, we're just getting started here. Pull up a chair. We're just getting started. This would be
Cobb.
a tremendous upset. You realize that, right, Jay?
No problem.
Not to put any pressure on you. If Campy were to knock you off, well,
no pressure, brother. There's never no pressure.
all right. You said 1919, Jay?
Yeah, Ty Cobb.
Here's your question. That's not correct.
All right.
It's the closest to.
Well, you let Camp go first.
Yeah. All right, Campio, here you go. Babe Ruth, this date, 1919, sets a new single-season record for home runs. How many home runs would he finish the season with? 1919, the all-time record. Campy, what do you think? How many home runs?
For the whole season?
Yeah, for the 1919 season, a new record.
I say 31.
31, Jay?
It's under that, and it's not too far off of that. He's around like 26. I'm going 30.
The answer is 29.
Yeah, I was saying it was
Jay,
in the
that was
20s.
a very
I remember
good
that,
answer
yeah.
by Campio.
That was a close one.
We're 1-1. Jay gets the point. Back to you, Campy. 33, 55, 68, 87.
Let's go 1987.
1987. Walter Payton scores a rushing touchdown for a then record 107th time. He would finish with 110 for his career. Which of the following players does not have more rushing touchdowns than Walter Payton? You understand the question, Campy? Which of the following does not have more rushing touchdowns than Walter Payton for his career? Is it Marcus Allen, Adrian Peterson, or Marshall Faulk?
Marshall Faulk.
That's absolutely right. Marshall Faulk. Yeah. Jay, you just let me know if you need us to look into, there's a little delay there.
Yeah. No problem.
Look that up on his phone or whatever.
No problem.
Yeah. Well
No
done,
problem.
Campy. He's got the 2-1 lead.
I'll take it. Then if I hear a little Kyle Draper in there, I'll figure that out.
All right, Jay.
Yes, sir.
33, 55, 68. You're down 2-1.
Let's go 1968.
1968.
Yes, sir.
It's the closest to, Jay.
You know who goes first?
Yeah. All right, Campy, here you go. Mickey Mantle, this date 68. It's the final home run of his career. Finishing with how many? Mickey Mantle, number 18 all-time, which is a clue. Mickey Mantle, this date, hit his final home run. How many home runs did Mickey Mantle hit, Campio, for his career?
539.
539. What do you think, Jay? Mickey Mantle, this date 68, hits final home run of his career, finishing with how many? Campy says 539. What does Jay say?
All right, my bad. I had to pick up a caller. Say that one more time.
You got it.
What was his number? I'm sorry.
His number was 539. Mickey Mantle, career
Ooh,
home
that's
run.
Close.
Yeah, he is number 18.
He's top 20. Yeah.
So how many did he hit?
Ooh, that's a good one.
You can tie it up, or you can
539.
fall behind dangerously behind 3-1.
He's. Ooh, that's a good. If he didn't look that up, that's a good question. I mean,
It
that's
was
a good.
suspiciously close.
Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, I'm gonna say under. I think he's around like 515, 520 ish. So I'm gonna say 538.
536.
No
is
way.
The answer. Yes.
Oh yeah, Camp's. He's a little fishy now, Campio. Come on, man. You've been like 2 or 3 off each one of these numbers.
Campio, you're being officially accused of.
I know my baseball stats.
All right, I got you. All right. The game continues here. It's 2-2, and let's see. I think it's Campio's turn, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We're right up against.
This is. Do we have to call it here, or we play?
Well, you let him ride. You can let him
This
ride.
is it. Final. This will determine the game. Campio, 1933, 1955.
1955.
He becomes the 7th player to hit 50 homers in a season. And on this date in 1973, he announces he will retire at the end of the season. Who is he?
What's
that?
The GOAT. That's the GOAT.
Which GOAT is that?
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays is right. He's right. He's won it. Campio wins it.
Yeah, that's a little shaky win. It's all good though. Shots out.
Way to go, Campy. Thank you. Congratulations. Have a great weekend. We're back with you Monday. All right, guys.
Same to you, brother. Stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe, Campio. Have a great weekend. Thanks for listening to Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go.